All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you that I'll bring Mr. Obang when we are 200 people, and now we are 234 people. So for those who will be late, I'm sorry for them, but let me pull in Mr. Obang. All right. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you, brother? Good to see you.
I am good. I'm good. Welcome to the show, Mr. Obang.
Thank you. Thank you.
First of all, let me say that it's an honor to have this conversation with you. What you're doing for Ethiopia and for Africa is extraordinary. And I gotta say that I'm learning a lot from you. And I mean, if you asked me like 1 year or 2 years back, I mean, I wouldn't see this situation or this moment happening here right now. So I want to appreciate you for taking your time and for coming here to talk with youth. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right. So let's start with this. I know I've seen the comments and a lot of people are talking about Obang. He's an Ethiopian, but I want to know, for those who don't know anything, would you mind to tell us where exactly you're from and what are you doing as well?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to the shows. And I also admire you for the work that you do. I follow, and we were on EBS recently, and where you went to Korea and what you experienced. And, I really want to say thank you for that. And
Appreciate
really being a young person and thinking big is a greater thing. So it is the younger people now that I have hope in them. And you are one of those young people that you really giving a hope to so many peoples throughout the continent. And I want to say thank you for that. And so as you were asking the question, most of Ethiopian. Yeah, my name is OBANG METHO, and I'm from Ethiopia, Gambela region, southwest of Ethiopia. And I work with the human rights, social justice, about the Ethiopians, about the well-being of Ethiopia. And then it's almost even now about the well-being of Africa, even for the human being as a whole. I run an organization called Solidarity Movement for New Ethiopia. A new Ethiopia is not a new map, not a new flag, not a changing anything, but a new thinking, a critical thinking, a thinking that can analyze things. So that is how most of Ethiopians who are on the show know of me. And I would like to really thank you to those Ethiopians that really push on you to invite me on your show. Specifically, there's one brother, and there's quite a few of them who are really saying that if please go and say something. Yes, and I would like to say to those Ethiopian brothers and sisters, thank you so much for inviting me and to be here. And so thank you to all of you, and then you too. So as you say that, what do I do? What it is, I'm as a human right, social justice. I'm not a political leader. I'm never joining a political party, but I really do care about the social justice. I do care about the well-being of the human being and the humankind. I left Ethiopia as a young man at the age of 16, went to abroad, went to school in Canada, in west part of Canada, in a place called Saskatchewan. And then when I went there, that is in the, almost the early 90s. And then I went as a young man going to this place, where there's not many black people at all. I was in the school where I was the only one, and as you can tell, a very dark guy with white teeth and so and then I never forget, going and hanging out with my friends, and some of the people say, "Mammy, this guy, we have these kids from Africa." So I never really intended to thought that I would involve in the human right or social justice. Just as a young man back then, I want to make a difference. But something changed exactly about 18 years ago in the Gambela region of southwest of Ethiopia. There was a human rights abuse, which is really by the TPLF. The government armed force went to the Gambela region, killing the particular ethnic groups who live there. There's one group where my family come from called Anyuak, and those Anyuak were targeted. And that really led me to get involved in the human rights work. By that, I was in Canada living my life, but people do follow me and called me and told me, and I took the responsibility. And then one thing I noticed was that most of the people who were killed were men, those who are aware of political right, those who are against injustice, those who are against oppression. Had I been in Gambela at that times, I would be on the list. I would be one of those guys because I fit all the education, all the required. So that got me to get involved in the human right, in saying that, I will try to do whatever I can to bring justice to these peoples. And so it went, and then, by that time, I was going to go to law school, and I put the law school work on hold and saying that, okay, I will go and try and see if find justice for these people. And I got involved in it. And then down the way, I learned. So it became an education. Start with Anuak. A few years in 2005, there was an election in Ethiopia where, the student, actually, it was one of the most peaceful elections in the countries. Almost 30 million Ethiopians who were eligible to vote came out to vote. And then in Addis Ababa, the capital city of Ethiopia, there is 24 seats. All the 23 except one went to the opposition. Before the ballot was counted, the government declared that they won an election. The opposition rejected. Students came out to protest. They were shot dead. 93 of them were killed. 193 of them were killed. That was when I went from Gambela to Addis and then to the rest of Ethiopia. And what I realized that the problem in Ethiopia, it is a systematic problem. Unless you really root out that thinking, really lasting change will not come. So from that on, then I stopped saying that, going through an ethnic base way of justice is not the way to go. So I realized that justice will not come to the Anuak, justice will not come to Gambela unless it comes to the rest of Ethiopia. And I realized that the people in Gambela, they were targeted based on their ethnicity. And had they been just viewed as a human being, they would never been targeted. So that made me to think out of the box and say that what Ethiopia needs is to create an institution, a movement of the Ethiopian people, not Ethiopian tribe. And then try to fight to making sure that justice will not come to one ethnic groups until it comes to all Ethiopia. That was in 2008, and we created this solidarity movement for New Ethiopia, and we've been trying to do that. This is actually a principle-based movement, and a movement that, as you can tell from the picture, the image, I'm glad that you put that banner, something I loved about it. What you see there is precious human beings, a father and a mother, an uncle and a sister, a wife and a daughter, just a precious human being, Ethiopians. You don't need to know their ethnicity. You don't need to know their language. You don't need to know their religions. All you need to know is to appreciate them and support them and guide them. So that was the idea of that principles, to create these organizations. And if you look at it, the logo is a table of Ethiopians sitting together. And there's a word there, 50, Hebrew and Salam, peace and justice and unity on the left side. That an Ethiopian logo. The logo is the Ethiopian flag. This is the website that, of the organization that. So the idea was, when you see this image of these people, this is who we are. You should not narrow us down to less than that. You cannot tell which one is Anuak in there. You cannot tell which one is Amara in there. You can tell that these are precious human beings. So that was how I got involved, and now that's why you see most of Ethiopian art. And so the principle are two things: humanity before ethnicity, or any other difference. The second one is, no one will be free until we are all free. If you look at it on the top there in Amharic and English, it says humanity or ethnicity on the left side. On the right side, say no one is free until we are all free. And the idea to solve the problem of Ethiopia by talking to each other, not about each other. And it seems to be so many people are loving it. And now that's why some of the Ethiopians say that, our bald head brothers. So that is out of that. So thank you.
Mm. Yes. Can you hear me, Mr. Obang?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I really appreciate for that recap of the your story. I want to know what would you like to see for your people?
See, what I would like to see for my people to live, you know, fully as a happy peoples. I would really want my people that to live that the way God wants them to be. The life is too short into these worlds. And so many of my people are dying before even they've grown up. So many of my people dying without getting an education. So many of my people dying because of no clean water. So many of my people dying not knowing what it means. You know, so many people die. So many of my people die with their dreams within them. And my hope and my wish for my people to have a country of the people, by the people, for the peoples, where we are value every Ethiopian like we value our families. Just that is what I'm just wishing for. Every country is by, there's a boundary and it's called national interest of that country. I love Ethiopia unconditionally, not because of somebody told me to do it.
Yeah.
It is not my choice to be born as a black man, as a man, as my family coming from that ethnic group, Anuak, or from Gambela, or from Ethiopia, from Africa. It is the choice of the creators. And then my love of Ethiopia is just like the love of myself. I've been created, I have to accept it fully and live to the fullest and nurture it, protect it, care for it, and also that take my responsibility in caring for others. Like I love myself, I have no any other choice but to love my fellow countrymen and women.
Yeah.
Because they are me.
Yeah.
I am nothing without them. They are nothing without me. But the problem is there's many people that who are human beings but don't know what it means to be a human being. We have so many of my fellow citizens who are drunk with tribal politics. And they allow these garbage thinking from abroad to come and destroy us. Your own country, one of the leaders that I really appreciate, the Tanzania. The Tanzania had leaders who taught other people, say that you guys are not a tribe. In Tanzania today, tribe is not an issue. But in Ethiopia, the constitution of the land is by tribe. The demarcation of the regional is by tribes. The car plate number is by tribe. Bank is by tribes. Everything is by ethnicity. We are toxic. We are with these things. It become who we are. So I really want to see my people out of that. I want my people to get the opportunity to go to school as an Ethiopian citizen, come back home and help. And not only they help someone because of their ethnicity. I want the brides of Ethiopia to lead the institution, not because of their ethnicity, but because of the knowledge that there's that. And this is what Julius Nyerere did. Nyerere did this in Tanzania. It is the reason today that Tanzania will not even think of having a constitution based on ethnicity, leave alone that, or even naming anything by ethnicity. So I dream and I hope for my country to be, a country where my people, the life of every Ethiopian is appreciated, and then also that not only appreciated, every live Ethiopian will be pushed to live to the fullest, to protect it, nurture it, care for it, sustain it, give them the knowledge that they need. So we have almost over 100 million. I see one of those 100 million as they are me. I am them, they are me. And so my hope is that the kind of thing I wish for me, for my family, for my kid, that's what I'm wishing for my people too.
Yeah. Oh, that's really amazing. What do you think are the risk Ethiopia facing right now?
There is serious risk. As you can tell that the war now is going, that we are at war. the risk is the tribal politics make us not to have anything in common. Some people think that we are a whole bunch of tribes put together living in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Drink water.
No worries.
The risk is very high. And the risk in being high because the tribal thing make us to focus on a little things, to focus on what make us different, not what make us one. And it's been going on for the last 30 years. The politicians are the product of that. Our youth are the product of that. The war in the north is a war against itself. The TPLF, the Tigray in the Tigray regions, they are our brothers and sisters. We are intermarried with them. The one who are dying on that side, the one who's dying in here are Ethiopian.
Yeah.
The school, you know, as a result of this war, we found that the data yesterday in the far regions, in Mara region, more than 7,000 schools was destroyed. 7,000 schools.
Yeah.
And these are what are the risks? These schools are a place where our future children, future leaders, future doctors, or future nurses, or future scientists, or future pilots supposed to be. And now we don't have that. The risk is very high. And the risk is because of the constitution of the country. It does not say we, the people of Ethiopia. It says we, the nation, nationality, and people group. In other words, it says we, the tribe. Yeah. And that is a higher risk because we don't see each other as citizens. We've been pushed to see each other as a tribe. The most primitive thinking in the 21st century and uncivilized. It is anti-humanity, anti-development, anti-harmony, anti-peace, and anti-righteousness. So the risk to my country is those. The thing that will make the country to sustain and move in a direction, we are going wrong of that. And that is what I see, the biggest risk. And we are not talking about it yet.
Yeah.
To me, even tomorrow, this war we are fighting now with the Tigray region, even if there's a victory, it will never be a victory as long as the constitution that the TPLF brought to the country continue to be the constitution of the land. I repeat it, we will not be free or we will not have a total victory as long as we have an ethnic-based constitution in the country. Because it is that.
So you say there's a need
to reform. There's no need. It's a must. There's no any other choice for us to survive as a country. It has to be reformed. There's no any other way. It has to be reformed. Because as a result, there we have some people, brothers, in Ethiopia today who are afraid of living in one place because that region is not the region that their tribe belong into. We had an Ethiopian who was being killed because they were told that they are a settler, they come from somewhere else. Unless you reform, in other words, the constitution becomes justified that I can say that you don't belong here, you know, that you deserve to be killed, you deserve to be evicted, you deserve to be displaced, you deserve. So as long as this is in place, we will not have peace. And so that's why I say that, you know, really is very, very dangerous for the country.
Yeah. How are we know you say that there's a need to reform and maybe to have a new constitution, and what are other ways do you think they're out there to bring all these sides together as one people, all these different regions together, and do you see that happen?
Right now I'm not seeing that happening that much. as I told you that we have this thing in our organization slogan that we, like what I say, the principle, humanity before ethnicity, no one is free until we are all
Yes.
free. Let's talk to each other, not about
Yes.
each other. We have that. The only way Ethiopian have to talk to each other. We have done so many horrible things to each other. And we have to heal the wound. We have to reconcile within ourselves. We have to talk to each other, not about each other. We have to give up some things. We have to give up something. Even something, if we think that, we have to give up something for the betterment of our peoples, for the future of our children. We have to give up something. We cannot continue to think this is normal.
Yeah.
Then the way to do it is, as you say, there's a dialogue in between. But right now, we are not in that phase. The ethno-nationalists are holding their grounds. And the funny thing is, they hated it, the TPLF, and they want to keep everything that the TPLF. Like they say that, those guys giving them name and junta and this, but they are exactly doing what those guys did. They're a group of people who oppose the TPLF, but they want to keep the TPLF constitution. They want to keep the TPLF system. They want to keep the TPLF everything. Because they are benefiting from it. That is unsustainable. It will not bring peace. It will not bring justice. It will not bring development. It will not bring equality. It will not bring Ethiopian together. So then, as you say, that the talk is a key. I'm hoping even with this war now, I'm not talking about this. Someone who are not listening to me who don't know much about Ethiopia may think that I'm talking about the war with the Tigray region in the north. No, I'm talking about the rest of the country. The rest of the countries have a bigger thing, which is the ethnic poison that has to deal with. And the rest of the country has the problem of the Tigray region to deal with. So the problem of Tigray region is a one thing, and you have the bigger problem of the country. So when you are talking about, bringing faction together, because you understand you're talking about it from the country perspective, someone will think that is from the north. It's not about the north. Even leave the north aside, we have a problem within ourselves, in the country. So I think somehow there has to be Ethiopian of conscious, Ethiopian of studies, Ethiopian of knowledge has to come forward. Ethiopian intellectuals, Ethiopian religious leaders, and not these fake religious. We have these fake religious guys who are trying to say that they can talk to Jesus, or these fake guys who are, just they are what I call that, they are not a religious leader. They are money leaders. These Africans who are just corrupt in the name of religions. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the genuine who fear God. And I'm talking about elders who are really not a tribal elders. I'm talking about a politician, not a tribal politician, a people politician, a citizen politician. I'm talking about mothers. I'm talking about youth. Most of the thing, one thing which has been done in my country is that so many young people have been brainwashed. Their mind is full of hatred. Their heart is empty of nothing, because they've been taught that, only the different, the tribe. So there has been the intellectual, the religious leader, the elders, the women, the children, the youth, all the other Ethiopian stakeholder has to sit together and talk and try to see that, before it's too late. It is definite. A dialogue is the only way that can yield our country. The dialogue is the only way. But it's not easy, because we also have these pretending Ethiopian individuals. They know the problem, but they want to tell what people want to hear. We have it, what we call in Ethiopia, mas masal, pretending to love someone is more dangerous than telling someone you hate them purely. Because if you tell them you hate them, they're definite, they can prepare themselves. But if you pretend you love them, You disempower them, and you can destroy them easily. We have these pretending patriotic, pretending we want to be so more national Ethiopian because they want to get the support of the Ethiopian. But deep inside there, in talks with the tribe. This is what holding us back. And these pretending politicians, they are in the front seat. They are the leaders. What they say is so sweet, what they do is opposite. So this guy also cannot bring the real genuine peace and dialogue to the country because they are pretending. We have something in Amharic say that and it says that, you know, if you're trying to wake someone who is sleeping, they will never wake up. If you are, you know, pretending to sleep, if you go to wake you up, you will never wake up because you're not sleeping, right? I can say, wake up, wake up, wake up, because you will never wake up because you are pretending. Exactly. A pretending an Ethiopian nationalist will never bring a lasting genuine to Ethiopia because they don't believe in it. A pretending politician will not bring peace to Ethiopia because they don't believe in it. This is where we say that, you know, unity is a power only if it is a genuine unity. A fake unity is not a power.
Exactly.
Say that, you know, love will win. A pure love, fake love will not win. So this idea of discussion, dialogue, it has to be genuine, that authenticity. It has to come from the foundation and seeing that what do we have in common? And what we have in common, all of us want to live freely. We want to enjoy the life that God gave us. These little tiny, you know, some of us may not even live 60. Some of us are lucky to live 50. But these little small life we have, these short time we have, how can we really appreciate it and enjoy it? So what we have is, you know, to making sure all Ethiopian put everything at difference. Let's create an Ethiopia where opportunities available to anyone, where every life of Ethiopia, what it is good for me, for my family, it is good for my neighbors, it is good for my citizens. Unless we create that kind of system, we will be in trouble. But as you say, that is there any talk about it? Right now, it is not. And I keep telling the politicians and the religious leaders, stop these fake things. You see this guy wearing a religious leader, religious clothes, and then when there's a problem, they go there, they have a meeting in a hall, they put their hand up, oh, this is peace. That's a fake. That's not peace. You know what I mean? That these are the pretending religious group. So it has to be more than that. So I think that it goes back to honesty. Honesty is the key. If you build that on foundation of honesty and genuineness, definitely that we can yield the one, we can build the country, we can live a better Ethiopia than a beggar Ethiopia that we are in.
Everyone in Ethiopia, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone at some point has been affected by the system that we are talking about, has been affected by ethnicity and all these things. Everyone is affected. Do you think people are ready to get rid of this system and to have new one? Do you think people are ready, but politicians are not ready to get rid of that? Or do you think, you know, what is your thoughts that when you talk to young people, when you talk to folks, do you think people are ready to get rid of this system, to get rid of these things that have been there for years and that have been separating them from one region to another region? Do you think people are ready to break out from that?
I wouldn't say that all peoples. I told you that there are people that who drunk these coolers and get drunk with it. There are people that who have get into their system. Like an alcohol, when people drink alcohol, get in their systems. There are these people who drunk it and it in their system. Those peoples will never want to change. There are people who are benefiting from it. I always try to tell Ethiopian that tribalism is like a candy. When you put it in your mouth, it is so sweet and you enjoyed it. But once it gets in your system, it becomes like a poison. It will eat you from within.
Yeah.
And there are
So
people who still chewing that candy and think that it is sweet. The group who brought this to power, the TPLF, almost 19 years ago, I wrote a letter to Meles Zenawi, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. That letter is online. And I say, Mr. Prime Minister, this way is not the right way to do it. The ethnic federalism is an experiment. It's a way that to control the majority of the population of the country in order for the minority to rule. This is what the colonists used. The British, they used it in order to control a country of 1 billion people in India and other places. They have to use the divided and conquer. I wrote that to Mandela. This is the wrong way to do it. Change it. He did not do it. I even gave a warning to the Tigrayan brother and sister to say that the TPLF is just using your name. Say, no, it's not in my name. That letter is online in 2009. And told the Tigrayan in detail about 5 pages. One day you will be targeted, even if you didn't do anything, because you belong to that ethnicity. Today, you may enjoy this candy because you can get easy access to loan. You can get land. You can get money. You can commit a crime and get away with it. You can speak your language, intimidate other people. But there will be a day where this thing will come and haunt you. I am saying it is because I love you. You are my fellow countrymen and women. To those Ethiopians who are listening, you can Google that. It's online. And OBANG letter to the Tigrayan brother and sister. I spoke in my heart and said that, the biggest elephant in the room, let's talk about it. And I even mentioned that the TPLF has tried to put the ethnicity on the ID card. And now we are talking about people that are being, they've been targeted because of the ID card. You can put my name because I can be differentiated with you. My age, my sex, my, whatever that, but there's no need to put the ethnicity. And I told them, and then the TPLF Central Committee leaders, who is now the president, who is the head of the Tigray region, and then, the guy that is in Abawald, who is in jail. And I told them that letter still online. Please, this is not the way to go. If you love your people so much, this is not the way to go. They didn't listen. But what I predict, it is becoming obvious today. It is so sad that some of my fellow brothers, Tigrayan brothers and sisters, are being targeted just because they are a Tigrayan. Because some of them are joining with the TPLF and people don't trust them anymore. We live our country today. My last name can make me being put in jail. And who did this? These guys, TPLF. They dig their own pit. And now, look, the mess we are in. So when you say it's everybody, there are so many Ethiopians who really hated this system. Those guys are ready. There are Ethiopians who took this system like a Bible, and they will die for it. And there are middle groups who are waiting, seeing what happens, and they don't know what to decide. When whoever wins. So there are people who think that this system was wrong when the Tigray was doing it, but it's right if my tribe is doing it. Those guys will not want to change it.
That's true.
It is not only the politician, it's the people as well. And if you look at it, Ethiopia is one of those countries, a unique countries. When we say that Ethiopia has never been colonized, I always told the people, Ethiopia is like a garden. A garden will never be beautiful with one flower. A garden with many flowers are beautiful. The garden of Ethiopia, you have a dark guy, bald head like me, but is an Ethiopian, did not originate from another country, it originated from here. You see an Ethiopian who's a lighter skin, someone will think he's a white person, did not come from somewhere. You find an Ethiopian who looks exactly like East Indian from India. The only difference, is speaking Amharic. This is the beauty of us. This is who we are. But the tribal saying that this is not we are. We have historically 3,000 years of living together. We have a religion tolerance better than that of America. In Ethiopia, you have mosque and a church divided by a fence. The Muslim guy will come and pray. When he finishes, the Orthodox guy will come and pray, and you go outside, you see the evangelical guy dancing. You have that in Ethiopia. Nabi Muhammad, when his people was persecuted, he told them that go to some land there where you will be treated as a human being. Your right will be respected. He was not talking about Cairo. He was not talking about, some other Arab countries. He was talking about Ethiopia. His followers listened to him. They came to Ethiopia. When they came to Ethiopia, there was a king of Ethiopia. The king of Ethiopia accepted them not because they were Arab, not because they are Ethiopian, not because they are Christian, not because they look like us. They accepted them because they were a human being. We know what it means to be a human being. We have lived it. And it's based on that when, moving forward, when the Italian won, the European meet in Berlin and divided Ethiopia like a bread by knife in that and see, this is like a cake. And the Italian want to come and take over Ethiopia. That value from the king inviting, welcoming Muslim foreigners in this land, Menelik leap out to that. And Menelik say, no, we may not have the sophistication weapon that, the European have, but we are a bigger weapon than them. And that bigger weapon is the love of our country, our dignities. Menelik mobilized the Ethiopian with no Twitters, no YouTube, no phone, no fax, nothing. And Ethiopian answered that call from four corners of Ethiopia. They went to the Tigray regions to protect what? The dignity of a human being. To protect what? The Ethiopian, to say that we are worthy. To protect what? To say that the black human being are credited equal. God never created 99.9% human being.
Exactly.
God created human being equally. Menelik went to defend the dignity of a human being. You cannot humanize us. You cannot dehumanize us. You cannot abuse us just because we have a different skin colors. We are more than the skin colors.
Yes.
And then Menelik stood there fought, and Ethiopia was not colonized. Ethiopia continued. Then you have these narrow-minded, short-sighted Ethiopian who don't know what it means to be a human, but they are human beings. And this guy introduced this dirty politics within us, and it is eating us from within and making us so vulnerable, to the point of that, that we become, a lapping to other countries. So are the people ready? I would say that majority of the people are ready, not everybody. Are the politicians are ready? Because one thing that which I see, I was hoping this could happen was when Prime Minister Abiy came, I was thinking that this constitution will be reformed right away. To change a country, to make a country better, there are two things that you have to do. Constitutional reform, institutional reform. Constitutional reform is a country is like a car. A car, if you change the drivers and the brake is not working, doesn't matter who's driving it. Mickey is driving it, OBANG is driving it, Jesus Christ is driving it. If the brake is not working, we will end up in a ditch. You can't change You can change a car with broken brake, but it's not gonna get anywhere. So you have to change the car. You change the tire, you change the windshield, you change the engine. What are those things? That you can call those parts like, change the militaries. Like in here we have these Liu, force. Change the military, change the media, changing the, like intelligence, changing all of these things for the interest of the country. Those are the spare part. The constitutional reform is key. Institutional reform, we did not change it. And that's why we are in a mess where we are, and also that we are not talking about it today. So answering your question, are the people ready? I don't think that, I wouldn't say that people are not ready. The people are ready, but they have to have the will. People have to be organized, mobilized to pressure the government to say that we should not look for something else. This is this constitution, this system is what's killing us, destroying us. Let's change it. And if they can do that, I'm pretty sure that the majority of the people will be able to change it. But again, keeping in mind, as I told you, there are those people who drunk it, and those are the guys that, you know, the one I was talking, if you try to wake them up when they're sleeping, they will never wake up.
Because they're pretending to sleep.
They will continue to do that. So those people will always be there. But I believe that with these now Ethiopian, you know, no more movement, Ethiopian back at home coming in and standing together and all of these things, I think that these may lead to something where people will be able to come to the point of saying that, no, we cannot tolerate it anymore.
And talking about that, we have seen the impact of no more movement outside of Ethiopia. We have seen how much it's doing right now, and everybody's joining. Other African countries, even us here, we're supporting as well. But do you think it's the time to use the same thing within as well? We've spoken about a lot of challenges and risk that Ethiopia is at. Do you think it's the time to change? Like we say no more to international invasion, you know, to our matters, Africa for Africans. But do you think we should say the same thing within as well? No more to ethnicity inside our countries. Do you think we have to do the same thing for our country inside to see about change that we are talking about right now?
Absolutely. I love the way you put it. Like for me to come to you and speak like this, I say to myself, OBANG, no more. I say to myself, OBANG, if you have any feeling of ethnicity and you favor your tribe, you are not a decent human being. OBANG, if you don't care about Ethiopians who are suffering, you are not worthy of a human being.
Wow.
I have to come to reconcile with myself. And saying that, OBANG, you have to reject all the negative things within you. OBANG, if you're trying to lie and say something that so you can get the support of Ethiopian, you are unworthy of a human beings because you are lying to yourself. You are lying to God.
Wow.
Before I can go and talk to somebody else, I have to talk to myself. If you know it, brothers, we talk to ourselves more than we talk to anybody else.
Exactly.
We talk to ourselves, whether we are driving, unless we are sleeping, we are talking to ourselves. And if we talk to ourselves of good things and positive things, nothing negative can come out. To me, before I say no more to ethnic politics, no more to CNN deception and lie, no more to American misguided foreign policies, I have to say to myself, OBANG, no more to negative thing within you. I have to cleansing myself. And knowing that my purpose is in this world is so short. So all the way I told some of the people that life is too short. You should not waste any time of trying to lie, trying to deceive, trying to manipulate, trying to take something which is not yours by force or by lie, by deception. So as you say that, look, if many Ethiopians in this country live alone even 50%, if 20% of Ethiopians think like you and me and they know their political right, we will never be bullied by the dictators. We will never be pushed around by the tribalists. And we will never be played by the Westerner who come and steal our resource. These countries are rich countries. We have plenty of waters. We have plenty of natural resources. We have lots of fertile land. But we fail to do that, to use it, to utilize it. Because we did not say to ourselves, no more. What we say to others is different and what we say to ourselves is different. Those kind of people, it's not worthy to lead the country. They're not even worthy to lead their family. So the no more you are talking about, is come, I agree with you. You put it very well. if the Ethiopian can say no more to ethnic politics, to themselves, then they can go and convince their family. They can go and convince their loved one. They can convince their friends. The easy way to do that, sometimes you put other people down. You labels, you give names. The darker you are this. You are ugly, you are uneducated, you are backwards. Or these, we give names, to the darker people, we give names to Amara, to the Tigray, to the Oromo, to this, to that, all of these tribes. But if you say no more to yourself, you cannot say those negative things to others. And if someone say, you say, no, you are better than that. It is only through you. I always say that, you give what you have. You cannot give what you don't have. If you have a tribal negative thing, that's what you give. But if you have a positive thing, you give a positive thing. If you put your hand in your pocket, you have to know first what you want. Because if you don't know, you will never find it, even if it is your pocket. If you know what you are giving to the people, it starts with you. So I agree with you. There's no more. It is, and it's not an Ethiopian thing. It's a humanity thing. It's a dignity thing. It's a quality thing. It's a truth thing. It's a genuine thing. It's a live thing. It's a light thing that can take us away from this darkness. But to make it become more successful, to make it more genuine, it starts with ourselves. I say to myself, no more to think of something negative about other group. I say to myself, I am better than those who put the tribal system in Ethiopia. If I get put into that place and I say, well, now I can do it, I'm no different than them. If I'm not different than them, then I have to say, no more. I cannot tolerate this. So I really, the way you put it, I love it. We have to say no more to ourselves, to those negative things that are really affecting us. And then we take it to the next group, like our friend, our family, our country. So like, for example, for Ethiopia, I always remind Ethiopia, to me, Ethiopia is like my body. My body is made of many things. You can see an OBANG, a black man, but you can break it down. My finger is part of OBANG. My nose is part of OBANG. My ear, my eye, my everything. And for this OBANG to be healthy, every part of me has to be healthy. So for every Ethiopian tribe, is like every part of Ethiopia. Amara may be the hen. Oromo may be the head. The Tigray may be the eye. Someone else may be the nose. Without all these things, Ethiopia will not function. Our failure to value this body of Ethiopia. The failure to value this body is why we are just now. So to me, we have to come to that point. And then this body, once we acknowledge the Ethiopia body, we can go. The Tanzanian will think that. The Kenyan will think of that. The Sudanese will think of that. And get to the point that for how long are we going to depend on foreigner aid? These people, we have all of these NGOs, Swedish development, Canadian development, all of these developments, and they're coming to Africa. For how long? We have the World Bank, we have these things. We are just begging for this. For how long are we going to beg when we have the resource? We have the most, richest continent in the world in terms of natural resource. The least in terms of knowledge and education, because we were not being given the right education. And in my country here, the people who are getting a better education now are the children of politicians or those people who have income, higher income. The rest of the people are not. How can you think of building a country with that? We live in a place where someone will go and buy a degree or a doctorate. That is a crime, a treason. Because you will be having a whole bunch of doctors who don't even know how to operate someone. You will have an engineer who don't know how to build a road. You will have someone who don't know anything. But it is acceptable. So this is how it is destroying us. And then we taught our young peoples not to think. One thing we have in here in education system, I try to tell Ethiopian, we have something we call, we've been taught to memorize. In Amharic, they call it some data. You have been to memorize things. Someone who memorizes things cannot think because they cannot analyze. What is the tallest big mountain in Africa? Kilimanjaro. Period. Why Kilimanjaro? What makes it tall? Where is it located? What's about it? Which country in Africa that never been colonized? Ethiopia. Period. Why was it not colonized? Where was World War IV? In Ethiopia. The Adwa War, Italian was defeated. Ethiopia was the only country that defeated the European. Why they defeated? Why did European invaded? Why did Menelik mobilize? Why did they fight? When you think, you analyze things. You think out of the box. And then you can find a solution. But we've been told just to read, just to memorize names. What's OBANG last names? Who is Martin Luther King? Just a black leader that was fighting for the black people. Who is Mandela? You don't even analyze. Mandela is the guy who went to jail for 27 years. Why did he go to jail for 27 years? Why did he not come out? What happened? So we taught our kid not to analyze things, to memorize things. And so when you have this kind of education, how can you compete with the Chinese? How can you compete with Americans? With the British? With the Indians? With the Koreans? How can we? Because the education we give to our children is not worthy of going to go out there. So no wonder that we have these brain drain. The most educated within us who are better and bright, we don't create a better system for them. Because they come from a wrong tribe or a tribe that you don't like, they don't get an opportunity. The dummiest, the dumb who don't know anything will become the leader of some place or run the higher office because of their tribe. The one who was the most bright, they go outside and run to the West and work in helping build the Western countries because the environment in their country will not allow them. So when you have this, then you have the most bright African leaving Africa to go abroad. The dumbest African remain in Africa because the system was not created for them. So this is where we are as a continent, as a nation, and that's why I was hoping that no more can become, an institution that make us analyze things, make us think, make us question things. Yeah. Sometimes even for us, there's some people who really believe that. And I grew up in the West, and I told you that I was living in the West. And some of the people think that actually the black people don't have history. Some of the racist white people say, oh, the African actually, they got their history when they got in the boat to be shipped to a Western world. They make us to believe that. But the truth of the matter is, we have so many great things. Whether you go to East Africa, West Africa, there's something there about the black people. You will look at the pyramid. It was not built by the Arab or by other places. This is truth. And if you look at this, sometimes you have these monument of Africans looking. They destroy the nose because the nose is flat. These are the black people, the nose is flat. Why are these guys breaking down the nose of these things? Because you don't want them to believe that. The things about us that, which so that there was a civilization, the way to take it, give them a less quality education, make them not to think critically, make them not say that they don't have a culture, they don't have history, and those things end up hurting the people. So the way to do that is a genuine education, a truth education that can be able to do it. And that's why I say that this kind of education, by the way, you and me talking about this thing, to those who are calling, listening to you, you have no idea. This is a very powerful weapon. It can change other people.
Definitely.
You have no idea, my brother. You are changing some people from your room. You're changing people. And if we can make more million young African at your age think like you, you know, there's something they will call in America, Mangaru Charkan. That means that, you know, it will be the road will be clean. If we have many younger, bright people like you from every corner of this continent, Mangaru Charkan, nothing can stop us.
Mandarucha.
That's it. That's it. We can make it. We can get there. And that is what it is. To me, my hope is not in the politician. My hope is in the peoples. Not only the people, the African youth. The African youth, they have to come to realize that they are, brilliant. They are beautiful, intelligent, smart, process. They have to come to reclaim their dignities and connect with all the others. African Union was actually a great idea. But after those Nyerere, Kenyatta, Haile Selassie, Nkrumah, when they die, it become a union of club of dictator for lives. It didn't continue. Now we don't have any representation. But to me, it's not really blaming them anymore. We have some quite younger people like you. Our job now is to bring those young people and make them more better than Nyerere, than Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie, Nyerere did not have a Twitter, did not go to study abroad and get these, by click of a mouse.
Yeah.
The platform is there for us, and we are not even using it. And the No More movement, it is not against any country, it's not against anybody, but for some things. We are not created to be against something. The No More movement is to say that no more to demonizing anyone.
Yeah.
No more to injustice, no more to abuse, no more to human rights, no more to demonize, no more to marginalization, decolonization. We have to decolonize ourselves.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. To say that, you know what, I deserve nothing less, nothing more than what I was created for. And this is where I think that No More can, and the only way to do it, again, I repeat, that's what you say earlier, is start with ourselves. I have to say no more to these negative things. The negative thinking, the negative spirits, the deception spirit, the lie spirit, the backwardness spirits. I have to cleansing myself from it. And when I go out there, I go out as a clean man, fear nothing. And if I die for a purpose. Then someone else will carry on from where I left. And so to me, this is where we are up to be. This is where we have to, we have a challenge ahead of us, but it may look, like so difficult, but it is not difficult. It is easy. It can be done. It's doable. It's been done before. Look at the other countries. China. China, at one time was not like this. There's many, even look at the Dubai, United Arab Emirates, was a desert. Look what they created. The Jews were at one time, they were not welcome and hunted and put in the oven and killed, and they say, we want to create our own countries. Especially for a continent with a resource, there's no way we should be a beggars. A place in Ethiopia during a raining time in Addis Ababa, it ran 10 times a day, 15 times a day. We don't have food to eat. We don't have, electricity. We don't have water to drink. But it ran in Dubai once a year. They never run out of electricity. They never run out of food. Something is wrong with us, brother. And that's why I say that it comes from within us.
That's a really good point. I wanna know this. I'll ask two more questions about Ethiopia, and then I'll move to Africa. The one thing is I want to know, what is your stand with the current Prime Minister of Ethiopia?
Very good point. My current stand with Abiy, I'm not a member of that political party. I don't have any support of any government. My stand for him was to do much more greater things than the people before him. I was one of those people who live abroad. Because of what I've been speaking and talking like this, those guys, the TPLF, actually they put people on the diaspora as a terrorist, and I was one of them, according to the TPLF.
Oh,
yeah,
terrorist.
and yeah,
Wow.
and even though I never talk about killing anybody or anything, they really didn't like that. But when the change came, one thing I was really hoping for and dreaming for was to have a genuine, meaningful reform. That was what I was looking at from the current Prime Minister. When he came abroad, I met him in person. And I told him exactly. I told him that you have a golden opportunity to get the country to a right direction. And now is the time to do it. And I told him constitution is the key. Constitutional reform and institutional reforms. And then when I come back to the country, I met him in person and talked to him. To me, my biggest thing was I cannot settle under the tribal system as if it is normal. My stand with him in there is that not talking about that system bothered me, disturbed me. This system is wrong, and he's trying to sweep it under the carpet. It will not work. My hoping is wishing for him to change the country in the right direction by changing Ethiopian rather than being nation and nationality people group. We have three descriptions of ourselves in this country. We can be called nation, nationality, people group. The most primitive backward system in the 21st century. You don't find it anywhere. That's the law of my country right now. And my stand is for them to change it to say, we the people of Ethiopia. Not a whole bunch of tribes put together in Ethiopia. And I was really hoping for him to change it. It's 4 years. It's not been changed. I'm disappointed. Some people say that, well, because of the TPLF was in power, there has to be, an election and, bring the people. But, the thing is, when he was in power by that time, he could have changed it, by the way. The parliament members, almost 90% was this party. They could have changed it. By avoiding it, disturbed me. But I still had any loose hope in that. For me, number one, understand what I'm looking for him. These and the people who are now elected should live up changing Ethiopia and making Ethiopia join a civilized society. Change the constitution and making us not a cages. In Ethiopia, the region is named after the ethnicity. The TPLF has done it. They call it Kilil in Amharic. Kilil means a cage. You have the Tigray cage, you have Amara cage, you have Oromo cage, you have the Afar cage, you have the Somalian cages. You cannot cage human beings. It's animal that you cages. To change this, people say that it's not easy. I know that there are people who will want to do it, but now most of Ethiopians are joining together and say that, okay, they don't like the TPLF. If you don't like the TPLF and you get rid of them and you keep the system in place, then your problem was with the tribe, not with the system. I repeat that. If you try to say that, okay, the TPLF, when you give them a name and a junta, you don't want them, you get rid of them, and you want to maintain the constitution they did, you want to keep every system they had, your problem was never been with the system. Your problem was with the tribe. And the problem with Ethiopia is the system, period. No matter what, who come, if you don't change this system, nothing will change. In In America, there's something in America, they call it Gulucha Silla what I tap with them. Gulucha Silla what I tap with them. And I'll give you a description, you will know.
All right. I'm learning a lot today.
When we create in Africa, you know, when we cook, there are three, you know, stones, right? There are three stones that to put the, you know, the pot to cook with.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right? There's, you know, three of them, then the, you know, the pot can stand together. Those, you know, in the Ethiopian language, Namaric language, what I tap with them. If you change those pots, doesn't change the taste of the what you are cooking.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's still the same.
Exactly.
Wow.
So if you don't change this, no matter who come in,
yeah,
it's still the same. So my stand was for him and the people who are leading to change that. My second one is to change the country toward a reconciliation. We have done so many horrible things to each other. We have killed each other. We have robbed each other. We raped each other. We dehumanized each other. We stole from each other. We have done so many horrible things to our family of Ethiopia. We need to heal the wound and saying that never again, like a truth and reconciliation. For letting Ethiopian talk, what we have done was so wrong. Some narrow-minded Ethiopian make us to kill each other, make us not to see ourselves as a family. They divided us to sit together and talk. And these things cannot be done by the Prime Minister. Cannot be done by the ruling government. It has to be left to the peoples. Let the people finding a genuine Ethiopians. I'm sure they are somewhere there. But support these people resource-wise. But these people should be independent to do the right thing. So let's this discussion, like the way it was done in South Africa, we cannot bring back the Ethiopian we have killed. We cannot bring back the wound that we have done. But we can create a closure to say that no, from now on, no more. After this, there's no more. That is something that, you know, I look up to him in this party to change. And the other thing that we fought for a real meaningful bringing change to the countries. We should not settle anything less.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in the last few weeks, we have a journalist in Ethiopia who's been locked up in jail. That disturbed me. Even if there is, they should not.
Yeah.
This is what we have to be an example. What I look up to him and I looked up to the whole other African, I want Ethiopian to lead. Not only Ethiopia, to lead the Horn of Africa, even to lead the Horn of Africa, and then to lead the East Africa. Ethiopia to lead Africa. In terms of African Union is here. We have over 100 million people. For Ethiopia to lead, but you cannot lead Africa believing in a tribal politics. Leave alone leading Africa. You can either lead a country as a tribe. It is time for Ethiopia to shine. It is time for Ethiopia to lead. But in order for Ethiopia to lead, Ethiopia has to cleanse itself and say no more to ethnic politics, no more to politics of lie, no more to politics of hatred, no more to politics of game. That you try to outsmart other people. And this is what the mullahs in their group did. In American politics, they have what they call conservative and liberal. Liberal, when they come in, they want to put the liberal ideas. When conservative come, they want to bring the conservative idea. But what the ethno-national did was only not the interest of the country, not the principle. To reinforce, to push, and make themselves wholly for their interest. And that doesn't work. So to me, what I'm looking for in my stand with him, I'm here in the countries. Like, for example, recently when there were the Western countries say that, oh, leave Ethiopia, leave this. By that time I was supposed to go to to US and to Canada. I had my ticket booked, but the right just when the CNN was saying that that the TPLF is outside artists, they are going to capture the artists, I made that statement to myself, say no. Now not the time to leave the country. I will stand here and be within the country. My point is the system of a tribe which is here, I don't support it, the tribal politic, but I cannot run away from it. Leave it to who? I cannot also ignore not speaking about it. I cannot pretend. So then I decide that, what? Okay, until things get better, I'm not going to go and live anywhere. I will live in Ethiopia. But it's there, we come from this anyway. They say in the Bible, you go back to the land where you come from. Let me go back to the soil that I come from, that need be. There was nothing wrong with in Ethiopia. Those people made it, even some of the crime that was done, what was done was a crime. They were reported that, the Western reporting that, the commercial flight is not safe in Boli airport because it will be shut down. That's a crime. They're making Ethiopia something else. We don't have a culture of blowing up ourselves at the airport and the hospitals. Ethiopians don't have that kind of thing. But to defend, to really counter these kind of people like me have to stand in the country and stand firm. To look up to the outside enemy and tell them that, what, we may be poor, but don't play around with us. That's what I was telling the Western who say, leave now, leave now. You know what? Don't announce it. Come, take your people, lock your embassy, goodbye. There's no need to just keep terrorizing Ethiopians that, oh, leave now, leave now.
Yeah.
So it is a sovereign country. So we can stand here, people like me, when we see this negative thing pushed from outside, we will tell them exactly, don't push us around. And when something wrong with the government who's here, we tell them too, no. We are better than this. There's a better way to do it. Right now, we are at war with ourselves. As you can tell, that what happened is horrible. But my stand with him and my hoping is to take the country to the right direction. That, again, we will not go back. In this, we have so many golden opportunities. The young Ethiopians stood up in the 70s and say that they don't want to live under the monarchy, to get rid of Haile Selassie, the king.
Yeah.
The coup took over. As a result of that, Mengistu Mariam killed the king. He should have saved him. Mengistu Mariam has the golden opportunity to create a better Ethiopia for his kids, for his grandchildren. 17 years of wasted. He wasted 17 years. And then when he lost the power, he ran away, didn't do anything. What a waste of life, what a waste of time. Holding the whole country, young people back. Ethiopia were whole hostage, didn't move forward. Mullahs and their group came in. They were not really an Ethiopian nationalist. They are a tribalist who want to liberate from Ethiopia. And they had a golden opportunity to create a best system for their children, their grandchildren, their tribe. They wasted 27 years. What they have tried to do based on lie and deception, it was destroyed in front of their eyes. Because it was never based on a foundation of righteousness. It was on a short-sighted, narrow-minded, primitive, backward, uneducated thinking. Had they have done it, the Tigray region will have thrived. The people of the Tigray region will have continued living, but because of that trying to play the game of smarter, 27 years of wasted time in Ethiopia were all back from moving forward. Now, the current Prime Minister has a golden opportunity. He can learn from those guys, or he can make the same mistake. And I hope that he will take the right direction and take Ethiopia to a better Ethiopia, not only for his kids, for my kids, for the kid of all Ethiopia who will be born after us. So that's what my stand is, my friend.
All right, I have this little question. Who are Fana people, and why no one is talking about them?
Yeah, who are what?
Fana people. Is there Fana people?
Okay, very good. Yeah, man, you're becoming aware of Ethiopia. Okay. The thing is,
from what I heard, these are people who are fighting with weapon, fighting for, for what's going on right now. But I wanna know a little bit in detail about this small group of people and why there's no one who is talking about them.
That's a very good point. It is called, Pano. It's a Pano. Pano is a youth and a young people from the Amara regions and the north part of Ethiopia. One of the things that is, the Fano. Fano is a young people from the Amara regions who've risen and tried to defend the right of their ethnic groups. These are a youth. When the TPLF was in power, people they overthrew, there were a protest that was going on all over the countries. One of them, in the Oromia regions, in here, Ethiopia had more than 80-something tribes. The Oromo and the Amara are the biggest. The Somali regions are almost the third. The Tigrayans only make up 6% of the population. And they were the one that ran the country for 27 years. They used the divide and conquer. To them, Ethiopian back before we intermarried, the elder, even the kings, they intermarried to keep peace. But one of the tribal group used to say that they have to create a monster. Like people who believe in, in a God, you have to create the Satan or evil. For the ethno-nationals people, what they fought against resistance was not really a system alone. They made it to be about peoples. They tried to make it, they made it to be about Amara. Amara is the second largest ethnic groups. They say that most of the king, Menelik is from Amara, Elaslas is from Amara, all of these things. And these tribals say that, these tribes were a monster, they mistreated us, they killed us, they did this. In terms of finding a better way to address it, they make those guys a monster, a boogeyman. To hold these things, liberation, they want to liberate from Ethiopia. You have these tribal groups, Tigray liberation from Oromo Tigray, these fronts they want to liberate from Ethiopia. From them is not from a country. To them was from this tribe or from this group. So to them, instead of making it about a system, they're trying to make, it was being made as a bot. That's why. That's what I say earlier, that in a country, you take the ugly and the good, all of it, and then take the good out of it. But the cherry picking, we have lived in all this together. When the king was in place, there were many from every tribe that would benefit from it. Not only one of these tribes. If we have committed crime, if those kings committed crime, there's some of us too from our tribes. We were part of this system. The only time there was a real purely tribal structure is when Malas came in 1991. Before that, if you look at it, the Menelik's general was some of them were Oromo. Even some people say he's an Oromo himself. It's a mix. Before then, the tribal is not an issue. But the tribal group tried to use that and create not about injustice. Like in America, when they created revolution, they were against the British system, not the British people. as a people. But in Ethiopia, that changed, the tribal group. That's what I mean. That's just a narrow-minded group. So they did this. So when they come in, the idea for them was, we were oppressed, we were mistreated, there's something horrible. It was not done by a system, it was done by the so-called Amara tribe. So the Amara tribe then were being made the evil of the evil. And when the TPLF come in, even by that time, they even create their own Amara. They create their own group from there, those one, and make them become their own Amara. They even create a regional flag. The original flag of the Amara Klil, and then if you look at it with the Tigray, it's just the same. So they had done that. These continue to carry on. And so when the people protested to get rid of in the, that lead to 2018 overthrow the TPLF, by that time, the Amara came out. It started in Oromia, and some of the young people were killed in Oromo, and Oromo leaders were put in jails. In Gondor, Amara young people called rallies. What they did was, they outshined the tribal group. When they come in, if you look at the picture, it's fascinating. They look like people who know their right. They dress well. These things, they have the slogan is very well crafted. Some of them, they say that the Oromo blood is our blood. Those Oromo who are put in jail is our brothers and sisters. These young people come out, are organizing. Even the TPLF, when they come to power, they change the Ethiopian flag. And they put the star in between, what they call the star of nation nationality. The star, that star symbolizes tribe. That star symbolizes tribalism. And they say that the flag of Ethiopia, green, yellow, red, with no star, they put it and give it to Amara. But this is the star that we use to fight it, to colonize, to defeat Italian. This star was not, who say that? That flag is mine. My Ethiopian, and it's not Amara who gave it to me. So, but these people, to get the support, they go and tell the people, and that's what the TPLF has done. When they come in, they try to say, oh, people like Gambela, we clothe them, we give them shoes they never had, we make them speaking their language and all of this. And there is this thing which was very powerful. I wanted to tell you in a way that you will find interesting. And when they first came to power, the TPLF, there's a group that called Shurma. If you see in Ethiopian, a group that they have a plate in their mouth. A darker people, Ethiopia. They live in the south. The TPLF leaders went to that place. They called them, they say, look, we are your liberators. We went to the bush 17 years to die for you. More than 60,000 of our brothers and sisters died for you. We got rid of the government who were in power. Now we are coming to tell you that we are your liberators. The government in power before was the government of Amara. The Amara, when they were in power, there are many things that they deny you. And we want to tell you that we will give you those things. Number one, they deny you to be a human being. By them, you were not counted as a human being. Number two, they deny you not to speak your own language. Number three, they make you to be naked. You don't have wear clothes. But we are your liberators. We come here to give you those three things. Imagine these are uneducated people under a tree. So the older man of wisdom raised his hand. And he told the younger guy who translating, can you tell me these people? Can you tell these people? Did I hear them saying that, they are our liberator? Yes. And they are coming here to make us human? The young men turn out to them and tell them. And they say, yes. Did I hear them say that they are coming here to make our language being spoken? And the young men translated, they say, yes. And the last thing, did they say that they are here to make us, not naked? And then they say yes. The guy say, okay, tell them that. They came here to talk to human beings. If they were coming here to talk to animals, there's a baboon sitting there on the trees. They didn't go to the baboon, they come to us. They say they come here to make us speak our language. I'm speaking my language now, and you translate it to them in their language. That one doesn't make sense. Number three, they say that, we've been denied from being naked. By chance, there was a younger woman who's sitting down there, pregnant. He told the translator, tell that young lady to stand up. The young lady stood up. It said that, did you see that lady? Her belly is big here. Inside that belly, there's a human being. And when that human being come out, he or she will not have any clothes on him. And not only that kid, even I'm pretty sure that you guys also, when you come out like that. The older man, uneducated, never been outside, don't have PhD, never been in a car, never been in an airplane, don't know how to read and write. He told them, come on, can you please come up with 3 reasons if you want our support? The number one reason, excuse me, number one reason of making us to be human, we are already humans. That's why you come to us. Number 2, to make our language, I'm speaking my language. Number 3, to make us naked. All of us are born naked. So my point is, these narrow-minded people trying to sell their idea alongside even uneducated person itself that can understand and know, someone with wisdom. So that narrative of trying to say that, the problem was a tribe, not a system, continue to carry on and dividing people.
Yeah.
And this is something that the Western used. During the Italian war, when the Italian invaded Ethiopia, they divided the Amhara and the Oromo, the 2 major groups. They don't want them to work together. To the point that some people bought it. They bought into it. There were a gentleman, Oromo man, written historically. Ethiopia, they have this tiny seed called teff, the one that they make the injera with. Tiny than sorghums. Some of them are, you can be brown, like black, the other one is white. So he want to tell these, the Oromo and Amhara who are believing this lie of you guys don't have anything in common. The young man took the brown teff seed and then the white, and he gave it in front of them, demonstration, like a lab. He told a younger person to pound it. The lady grounded it. He said, mix them together. They mix it. And then he said, then look, Oromo and Amhara are like this neck teff and white teff, like a white and then a brown. When you ground it, become a flour, you mix them together. Show me who can divide it. That man was a man who's uneducated. He said, we are like that. The blood that go through our veins, like a white flour and black flour mixed together, you cannot separate them.
Yeah.
These things continue to be, and the TPLF tried to capitalize on it. And so when Ethiopian were fighting was what I call a sectarial struggles to get rid of the TPLF. They will give something to Oromo and give something to Amhara, give something to other groups, because this is the only way that attacked it. But eventually people come to the point, these young people, the Oromo young people have a year, they call it Kero, the Amhara have a year that called Fano. And these young people then stood together and rallied together. That started with when the Amhara said that the Oromo blood is our blood. That created this greater movement, eventually then pushed Haile Mariam Desalegn to resign, and then led to Abiy coming. And these younger Amhara kids were a peaceful group. They were not in people who hold the guns. But when the war took place with the TPLF, they were the first to rise up, to protect their family, and fought back. They fought back. They are organized. There are some people for sure within the government who don't want to raise their name. In a way, feel that, like by raising their name, you are kind of maybe minimizing the government or minimizing the defense force. There's some people who are afraid of that. But it shouldn't be. That's what I mean earlier. Say no more to yourself. These young people give their life and their blood to these countries, like the defense force, like everybody else. So the reason is, out of when you are not free, you will not see a bigger thing. These younger people who are there, they are not a terrorist, they are not a monster, they are not anything. They are just an Ethiopian who stood up to defend their family, to defend their countries. They deserve that. You try to strip and say that, oh yeah, we don't want to talk about them. The truth, even if you don't want to talk about it, the God creators, the creators know. So I'm glad that you brought that up. There are some people who don't want to mention that. That's what I mean earlier. Ethiopians need to cleanse themselves. These are some of the issues that we need to talk about these things. Pretending. What I said before, the sleeping guy, you try to wake up, it doesn't. These pretending and denying, not giving credit where the credit is due. So to me, these guys are not a whole bunch of people that will go and kill innocent people. They are not a group of people that will say they want to destroy the country. They are not the people. They are people who are just doing their share to contribute to the betterment of this country. They start as a peaceful group. When things get worse, even the government is now fighting in a war, they pick up the gun to defend their family and defend Ethiopia. They are not an enemy of anybody. These are a younger people. So that who those Fano are younger peoples that within Amara regions who try to protect their family. And actually, if you look at it, within this, their story will tell. So many of them. The tribal group give the ownership, a false ownership, and saying to the Amara. And say that, the Amara is not ours. Ethiopia belongs to them. We are not this Ethiopian. We are tribe, but Ethiopia is Amara. But when Ethiopia was falling down in the north, the Amara actually went and claimed it. Like someone saying that it's not your child, they say, you know what? It is.
Yeah.
Unconditionally. History will tell that later on. So that's what I mean. This is not a whole bunch of terrorist group who are doing this. And that's why I say that with confidence, these are younger people who don't want their country to go down. To me, they are heroes. They are fighting. They're worth to be appreciated and, supported, and then work with them, giving them, the acknowledgement that they deserve.
Yeah. There are people who are saying, stop Amhara genocide. And there are people who are saying, stop Tigrayan genocide. What do you say?
That's a very good point. Man, when are you coming to Ethiopia for the homecoming, great homecoming Ethiopia?
I'm coming very soon, and I'm hoping to meet you. Maybe we can have a more conversation about other stuff, because I think for today, we're not going to be able to talk about Africa. We're just going to stick with Ethiopia. Okay. But I'm going to have another session with you, if you allow me, when I come there, to talk about Africa in general.
Definitely. Welcome you back home, brother. Welcome you back to Ethiopia to add this in there. So yes, this is a very good point you mentioned. Now, and one of the things, the tribe makers in Ethiopia, even now, it's so sad. When someone dies in Ethiopia, it gets to the point not a human being die. A tribe die. Amara die, Tigray die, Oromo die, and these kind of things. The idea when people say that, Amara genocide, the Amara genocide, it go way back, more than a year. That people have been saying this. The Tigray genocide started after the war. That started in November 2020, November 4, 2020. Before that,
so do you believe that there are Amhara genocide and Tigrayan genocide?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. The idea when you see that when people say that, a genocide is something that even I study in school. Is intention to kill someone base. It doesn't mean you have to kill 1 million.
Yeah.
You kill a few people intentionally. You look for them. Number one, by the ethnicity or by religions, by language. Then that is the definition of genocide. It's not 1 million people have to die. A target killing of the people. And for those who say that Amara genocide, there's some truth to it. The monster that, the ethno group and view has an evil persons is to them, the grievances that they think that the problem they view it as Amara. And to justify that is to kill the Amara. And it's so sad, it breaks my heart. There's so many, some poor Amara women who have nothing, barefoot, who died. And the only crime that they have committed because they were Amara and they live in a different wrong regions. That happened not once, not twice, not 5 times, not 10 times, more than that. It's documented. And so that when the Amara said that, this is just a target killing. Because, you go in, like when the Anuak were killed in Gambela town with more than 100,000 people. There's not a single person from that tribe died. It's only Anuak. That's the genocide. And when you have a town when all of those people who die is from this ethnic group, you cannot avoid that from calling them a genocide. It is documented again, and again. Even people who have that, they have a name and, targeting them based on that. They are a settler, they come to this, you use that, the problem, mess you are in because of created by them, they deserve to die, they have to do this, go back where you come from. This has been going on again and again and again by ethno-national group who think that this is the way to justify the killing. And so the Amara came out and say that genocide, there's justification to that. We cannot deny them of that. As the truth is a fact. When it comes to the Tigrayan, and they're saying that the Tigrayan genocide, to them was a general thing where they think that the government of Ethiopia went and killed the Tigrayan. We have a Tigrayan living in Gambela today. No one heard them. We have a Tigrayan living in Addis, in the south, in Afar, in the Somalia regions, in other places. No one killed them. They don't get targeted because of their ethnicity in other regions. It's very difficult to call that a genocide. It's not a genocide. It is a documented thing. When the government go and kill, the government doesn't go and kill them because they are a Tigrayan. It's the TPLF soldier who are supporting them. The government don't go and look at and say that where are the Tigrayan, that eliminate them. That never happened. So that you have this thing where, like a competition that, the Tigray genocide or the Amara genocide. To me, when you talk about that you don't really find a real credible evidence where people go out and say that, kill those people because they are a Tigray and have those video and document it and bury them in a mass grave because of that. You don't see that in Tigray region, but we have seen it in Amara. And so that's why when you see people are saying these things, even the Ethiopian Human Rights Councils and then the United Nations Human Rights Council, they put a joint statement. In the Tigray region, there were no a genocide that really been that. And if there is, and I say no, did not, I would not be a decent human being.
Yeah.
Because the one who will die there are my brothers. They are my fellow countrymen and brothers and sisters. The truth has to be followed. So when we're speaking about the genocide, it's that's how I can really do that. But it is documented. We will know because of these people to justify it, as I say, that the monster, that the evil that was created was Amara. Then by this tribal group, they deserve to be killed. They deserve to be kicked out. That is a documented thing.
Mm. All right.
Okay.
So I'll ask you this question, the last one, and I'll maybe if you allow me, I will correct some 2 or 3 questions from the audience, from the
Okay.
comment section, and then you can answer them, guys.
Okay.
Before you start commenting right now, I'll allow you the time that you can comment, so that I may pick up maybe 2 or 3 questions in the comment section. So, how do you envision the future of Ethiopia from this moment forward?
I envision it really again by starting by being true to ourselves. By not being true to ourselves is the reason why we are in mess that we are in today.
Mm.
I could only envision a better Ethiopia starting with being genuine. There's something we call an Amharic it. Genuine. I envision Ethiopia by just drawing that idea of honesty. Is lack of honesty, playing game, deception, dishonesty that really make us to be where we are. That is what caused us. The Ethiopia I envision has to be dropped down and putting down that whatever we have to be true to ourselves. What kind of Ethiopia do we want? What kind of Ethiopia do everybody want? And sitting down, talking about that, crafting that Ethiopia. It doesn't require a rocket science. Other country has done it. Your country is a good example. Nyerere did that.
Yeah.
The country that he envisioned is, now we die. You will not see your country, being worried about ethnics issue becoming a problem that will tear a country apart.
That's true.
Because the leader of your country thought of it and put it that. But for Ethiopia, then what I envision is an Ethiopian being true to themselves, coming to tables, and drafting a system that put all Ethiopian equal, no one, no more. So that is the Ethiopia that I envision. Not an Ethiopian where some tribe think they are better, or some tribe because they're a bigger number, they have like the thing here in Ethiopia, we have these things like, my tribe to turn, our turn, the politics of turning. The country is not a water well where you go taking your jerrycan waiting to fill the water. No, the country is for everybody else. The country for all citizens, not for few. So the Ethiopia I envision in Ethiopia that value the life of every Ethiopian as they value their own life. Ethiopia where every citizen take responsibility. Responsibility to help their fellow country men and women. A responsibility to make the country thrive. A responsibility to protect each other, to guard each other, nurture each other, and then protect the Ethiopian national interest. I envision that kind of country, but that country has to come to the beginning of valuing human being, putting humanity before ethnicity, caring about the well-being of Ethiopian, not just because the thing is the right thing to do, it is really a godly thing to do. Yeah. And then making sure that, then we can build on that to create an Ethiopia, not a beggar Ethiopia, a better Ethiopia, where we give a good education to all our children. We give our farmers to farm. We treat our women like we treat our mothers and wives. We don't send our children abroad because I am in a political post or someone have money, but we give the quality of education in our countries. We provide a good health care that we care for the life of every Ethiopian, not because of our trouble. We give those who don't have a clean water to get waters. Those who don't have a road can get connected to the road. Those who are living in the dark would get the light. Ethiopian that who don't have anything because of their disability should not make them be left in dark. Ethiopia that care for the citizen, whether they have something or nothing. That is the country that, I'm hoping and living and wishing for. But that cannot be brought by a tribal leader, cannot be brought by a pretending politic, cannot be brought by these fake politicians. So that is the kind of country that I envision. The country is not a poor country, it's a very rich country. We have plenty of natural resources. We did not even have the time to utilize what we have. So I dream of that country. And I also have a hope there are Ethiopians in the country, outside the country, who can come and answer their calling, who can say that, you know what, it doesn't have to be this way. And that's what I mean. My hope is not on the politician. My hope is not on the grown-up people. My hope is in the youth. The youth can come up and create the kind of Ethiopia that is good for them and good for their children. And, I travel throughout this country. Majority of our people are young people.
Yeah.
Who would be getting married tomorrow, have a husband, have a wife, have children. These young people don't have a job lined up for them. They don't have an opportunity. So my dream of Ethiopia where we will have a leader that can think beyond themselves, beyond their tribe, beyond their family, but a leader that think for every Ethiopian. That's the kind of country that I dream of.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let me allow 2 questions from the audience.
Okay.
Yes. So let me do this. I have Professor Ezra there. Professor Ezra, do you mind to collect for me maybe 2 questions from the audience? And I'll ask Mr. Obang here 2 questions from the audience, and then you, Professor Ezra, you can share them, and then I will ask Sa here. Yeah, I'll wait for that, and as I'm waiting for that, I'll just say this a little other side question to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Bang, what do you think is the role of Africa country right now to what's going on in Ethiopia? If you have anything that you want to address to other African nations, because here in One Africa movement, we are talking about One Africa. We believe in a unity. We believe that without unity, there's no future for Africa. And issues that Ethiopia is going through, there are a lot of African countries as well. They're going through those issues internally, right? And even the fight that is happening in Ethiopia and U.S. this tension that is going on, we believe that there's a lot of countries in Africa. You can go to Burkina Faso, you can go to Niger, they're going with friends. You can go to Congo, they're going through that even right now. I've seen some videos today, disturbing videos today, what's going on there. So what do you think is the role of other African countries to what is going on there?
There's a big role of other Africans, but we are not doing anything. The number one thing before they know their role, they have to be aware of what's going on. Are we really aware of what's going on? Other Africans. The other African, are they aware of what's happening in Ethiopia? I don't think so. I think that's one of the problems. But once they know that, this is the one thing that, the Ethiopian king, 57 years ago, Haile Selassie, when they were at the League Nation and Ethiopia was pushed aside, he gave a warning to Western countries. And he said they stand with Ethiopia. Everybody is not today. Everybody, is it to us? Today is us. But tomorrow will be you.
Yeah.
That was before the Second World War. Leading to that war. Had they listened to Haile Selassie, 30 million Russians would have not died. Nagasaki, Hiroshima would have not. Pearl Harbor, American soldier would have not been killed. My point is, the most of Africans don't know what's going on. It may be tomorrow, today in Ethiopia. But what I was really worried and concerned about was not the war with Ethiopia alone in Eritrea, with the Tigray region in Ethiopia. There were some group who are working and trying to push that so that Ethiopia can become like Libya.
Yeah.
Ethiopia can become like Syria. And then when we say to Ethiopia, no, not under our watch, we will not tolerate that. There are some countries that who are trying to push African so African can kill each other. They will take and get the resource. They have something we call in Amharic labor, a thief, when there's chaos, it's the opportunity for a thieves. So there are these people who want to create Grigri in Africa, making every problem in Africa that, so the resource of the world now is becoming so scarce that where is left is Africa. The most, land that not been used to, is in Africa. The population human being is going to go to 9 billion in the next few years. Where are they going to get the food? The resource that, they have. So a place like Ethiopia, if they are fighting each other, then they will not think about how to build a country. They will not think about a resource. And then other people can come and take it. So do other Africans know that? The Ethiopian interest is your Ethiopian cause is your cause. The role then the African need to do is to really stand together, to work together, be vigilant and say it's wrong. The problem of Ethiopia can be solved by Ethiopian. You don't need some Western people coming to say that they care about the human right. Come on. How many human rights has been committed in this thing? Iraq was a better before Saddam died. Iraq was a better country before. How many people died in Iraq? When Gaddafi was there, Libya was actually even have some better health care for poor people than those who are living in America. Iraqi citizen, Libyan citizen who are getting married, they will even get a honeymoon. Children who are dying get the opportunity. Today, you cannot even compare the Libya of this that Obama has created, the Libya that Gaddafi has. The African need to know that. That's why the issues of Ethiopia should not be taken lightly. That's why Ethiopians should need to take the issues of Congo seriously. Other Africans. These people is not a heart of love, a heart of greed that they want something from us. So the role of other Africans is not enough, but their role is you, a young man. I'm very proud of you. You are a role. That's what it is. We need to multiply, people like you to talk about this. So the role of African is have to be laid out and being organized. Organization, organize. African Union is not good enough to speak for Africans. Yeah. It's controlled by this group. It's a political or institution. It's controlled by China, controlled by West. They don't have a voice. They are not free. But the younger African has to create a stronger institution of Africa. This is the thing that imagine our money is worth nothing. If I come to Dar es Salaam tomorrow and I bring my birr is nothing in there. But my American dollar will be taking over my birr.
Yes.
You bring your shilling to Addis Ababa, your shilling is nothing but American dollar. Your neighbor money is supposed to be much more. European Union, Europe, who used to kill each other. The two wars that took place in the world was not in Africa. It was in Europe. They use the same money right now. They create the same money, euro. I can go to Dar es Salaam tomorrow and my euro will be taking over my bill. Bring my shilling here, the euro will be taking. So the African need to start thinking. We can unify the continent. Even if we fail to organize the whole bigger, you can make it East Africa as one area, West, North, South, can be done that way, or Central Africa.
Yeah.
But if you can create the idea of United Africa, United States of Africa, you will have so many enemies. Because those people don't want a strong Africa, an educated Africa, a conscious African, an humble African, a genuine African. But it's doable. If the European who used to kill each other, they create wars. The First World War, the Second World War was not fought in Europe. It was not fought in Africa, in Middle East, in Asia. It was in Europe, and they call it a World War, but a European war for that matter. If those guys who used to kill each other can put their difference aside and create a one currency, you can go from corner to corner with a checkpoint. Why can Africa not do it? The reason why Africa cannot do it because we don't have a visionary leader. Above all, we have a tribal leaders, not a citizen leaders, not African people leaders. We have African tribe leaders.
That's a good point.
So the role for African to play the role, you have to have a leadership. You have to be organized. You have to have institution. You have to plan things. And we don't have that. And let the conversation, let the discussion start and begin. And that's what I mean that with the younger men like you, all we need to do is, my friend, you connected with a younger man like you, with another younger man in Addis Ababa, in Nairobi, in Kampala, in every place. The next thing you know is Mangaru Charkanu. The road will be just clear. So the role of African is very crucial, but it requires organization.
Yes. Appreciate. Thank you for that beautiful answer. So I'm just going to jump right into the questions that I have too. The first one, it will be this one by Chala, my brother Chala. We call him the father here. He's truly the father. It says, what can you tell or advise the Prime Minister to do or change in Ethiopia post the war?
Well, I think I already said that.
You say that, right?
What you need to do is just change the constitution of the country, unify the people of the countries, reconcile the people.
Yeah.
I think, constitution is a key. Without changing that constitution, Ethiopia will never have peace. We will not be free. We will not really move anywhere. Changing the constitution of the country. Then, making people reconcile, the problem that's taking place in the country, and then move the country forward.
All right. Another question is right here from Dr. Sadeke. It says, do you see hope in the Commission for National Dialogue draft under review by the House of Representatives? Could it be an opportunity to reform our constitution? How do you heal the social fabric?
The thing is, one thing I'm very reluctant to that. I don't see things that are coming from the House of Representatives as to be free and fair, because that is a government idea, control or dominate in a way. If it is about the healing, the social fabric of a country, it has to be a reconciliation that not really being dropped by the government. When I become proud, I create the Peace and Reconciliation Commission. Where is that? So many people have died in the last 4 years. What would that commission do? I created what they call, in Maninated Timber Committee. A tribal board, marking the border thing, which even they were wanting me, and I didn't want to be part of it. So what have they done? So in other words, it's not just created these things, it's doing it, but it has to be independent. The dialogue should not be something controlled by the House of Representatives or by the government or by the Prime Minister. It has to be independent. independent of a government, independent of a prime minister, independent of a politician. It has to be an independent body that will deal with this. The government can give the fund to support it, but it should not be. So national, dialogue, drafting and review by the House of Representative, that is really is if the House of Representative want to do a better, good thing is their job, change the constitution, man. That's your job. You are born to do it. Change it. Don't go around the bush and thinking that, thing. And then what I see, the politician trying to talk about, well, we need to, include more language to be spoken. We need to do, no, change the constitution. This is what is killing us. You cannot go around cherry picking what the problem is. To me, the reconciliation healing process should come from independent body, not hand-picked individual by the Prime Minister or by the House of Representative. The work of House of Representative to change the law. And the law you have to change is the law of the land, is the law of a tribal politics that is killing us, has to be changed. Because that become a passport to justify killing our neighbor, evicting them, destroying them. So the House of Representatives, their job is to change the law, and the law is changing the constitution of the country, reforming the institution of the country. That is what I think that they can do.
I think they continue to that question. Do you think after that happens, the mentality of Ethiopians will change as well, of the people will change, or that will be another step?
Oh, definitely will be another step. It's not easy. And I talked about this in talking to some. It's not change because we have a generations who are intoxicated, drunk with a tribal thinking and tribal politics. It's not going to be easy. But they had to change, especially changing the education system, making teaching about humanity, unity, equality as part of a curriculum. From elementary school, from grade 1, teaching the kid that when you go to the classroom, the kid sitting next to you may be different, may speak a different language, may be darker than you, may be lighter than you, may be farther than you, may be skinnier than you, but he is a precious human being. And above that is your brother and sister, is an Ethiopian. You are that child keepers, protectors, to making sure that the teachers teach kids in the schools. You may be somebody else's children, but you are the future of us, leaders. To teach the kids from elementary to the university, making part of curriculum. One generation after that, it will definitely change that. The mentality is not something will change easy, but it requires that kind of thing. And not only school, the churches, the mosque, all where there's people gathering, these should be made. It was done in Rwanda. In Rwanda today, when you ask Rwandese, actually they will say they are more in Rwanda than, they don't know. They will not want to answer that if you say, what is your tribe?
Yeah.
Ethiopians can do that. But again, it doesn't have to be based on pretending. Pretending Ethiopia winnet, pretending underneath, pretending equality, like pretending unity, Ethiopianness, it doesn't work. It will not work. So, the psyche and changing the thinking of the people is not easy. It will take time, but it requires a grassroots movement to say that we are infected, we are sick, we are drunk, we are contaminated. We have to cleansing our mind and our soul from the tribal politics, because it's not good. It will destroy you. It will eat you from within. And then, making us yield the past, we can yield the past wound and saying that, from now on, we can be better than this. Other country has done it. Ethiopia can do it. So I think there should be a part of that next after that.
Yeah. Definitely. There's another good question. Guys, I want to appreciate for the super chat as well. Thank you so much for your giving. Ephraim Lakeo says, Dear Obang, I think this is a suggestion. Why don't you produce an article or a book of a real picture of Ethiopia situation via time to help for citizens understand issues?
Thank you. I'm almost done. I'm writing a book. I'm almost done. So, there will be pretty sure that will be, finishing a book, hopefully, in these coming years soon. And then that book will be able to answer some of those questions. Why I do what I
Yeah.
do, and, my journey from there to here, and why Ethiopia, what I think would be the way to get Ethiopia out of it. It's a definite Ephraim. It's a wonderful thing. It is about time, yes, for sure that, then I'm sure you will be able to see the journey, why I'm doing what I'm doing.
This is amazing. I hope I'll have an opportunity to have you here back again to talk about your book a little bit. I'm booking you right now before the book is out. Please. There's another question here. I think it's interesting. From Eritrea. Say, my question to Mr. Obang: how are we going to be able to live side by side after those atrocities? Their deeds is deep to the bone.
We don't have a choice. We have to find a way to live side by side. There's no any other way. A family is a family. A family can do a horrible thing to each other, but he is your family. There's no way we cannot live together. Even if we try to create a little small, tiny countries, we will not be bordering other countries. We'll be bordering whoever we run away from. We have no choice. This is the only choice. But we have to be strong to accept that. That's where our humanity comes. We have to be a true, genuine human beings, knowing that the horrible thing that has been done to each other, we have to say that, you know what? No more to myself. I am better than those guys who have done it. I can stand together with this. It is not us who, it's not me, but I can make sure that this doesn't happen again. We have no choice. We have to live side by side. God made us to be created in this country. We are already there. A family member some of them can become a brutals. Some of them are a criminal. Some of them can rape a family member. Some of them can steal, but they're still your family member. We have to know that these are some of the most horrible brothers and sisters who have done this thing. I know it in Gambela. My family members, my uncles who are very close to me, they were killed like animals and they were buried in mass grave. Until today, I don't know where he was being buried. I don't hold a grudge anymore. I wanted to say that the death of my uncles should make me be a messenger to making sure that another person will not lose his uncles. I cannot bring my uncle back, but I can save somebody else's uncles. We can save another atrocity by living side by side. By not living side by side, we will be creating another atrocities. What we have done to each other, even in the last 1 year alone, look at the destruction in Kombolcha, in Dasi, in Wollo area, in Afar, even in some place where they were riding with the human blood. That's horrible, un-Ethiopian, unhuman. But we cannot blame that to our foreigners. It is us. It is me. The guy who's done horrible thing to that by being an Ethiopian, it is me. All the other ugly thing that he has done. Maybe he had done and cut somebody else's stomach and did a horrible thing. It's me. By being an Ethiopian that, that's I take the ugly and the good of these countries. My question, how can I play a role that this doesn't happen again? Living side by side is not a choice. But how can we live side by side in a better way? We have to accept the giving things. We kill each other with Eritreans. We say, oh, let them secede. We don't need them and let them be. Today, Eritreans are coming to Ethiopia and they are more Ethiopian than Ethiopian who live here. What did these people die for? Did somebody has to die? No. Someone has lost his mother, his father, his brothers, and someone that he loved because of the stupid thinking of an Ethiopian that who was a leader who were in charge at that time. It's not you. What made me not live side by side my fellow brothers, Tigrayan sisters? The one who killed my uncle was a TPLF, not a Tigrayan. What made me stop working, living together side by side with my fellow Tigrayan brother and sister? That's why I have to say earlier, I say no more to myself. I have to have clean mind, pure heart, and humble and say that, okay, I will be better than those guys. And by that, it will make us live side by side. Living by side is not a choice. We don't have any other choice. The question is, how can we make it? How can we create it? And that's why talking to each other, not about each other, is the way. In our country, we have a Tigray sitting down talking about the rest of the Ethiopian. We have the Amara, Oromo sitting down talking about the Amara. We have Amara sitting down about the other. We have to talk to each other, not about each other's. If you talk about me when I'm not there, you will say, Obang is a thief, Obang is a liar, Obang is this, Obang is a killer. But if I'm there, I will say, no, I'm not what you said. Because talking to each other is totally different than talking about each other. We've been talking about each other for so long. As a result, we are going in vicious cycles. We cannot bring back Ethiopian that we have killed. We cannot bring back the pain that we have inflicted. We have to be really humble. We have to have a leaders who can come out and say that I'm so sorry for what has been done. We don't need someone to come and say, I'm sorry for what was done to the Oromo in the name of the Oromo, or I say sorry for what was done to the name of the Amara. Just all you need is a leader of the country. I am so sorry for all the ugly thing was done by the Ethiopian people. I am elected as an Ethiopian leader. By default, that whole the ugly thing was done. It was, I'm so sorry for that. We need to have those kind of leaders. And say that, please, I beg you guys, let's move on. Let's move on to a better country, to a much more prosperous country, to a much more harmonized society. So in that case, it's not a choice we have anymore. We don't have a choice. The choice we have now to find a way to live together, to build a country and become, exemplary to other people. That is what we have. This is who we are. We have to be an example to show the world. This is who we are. A group that who are one time, they have killed each other, destroy each other, and then they build it. Look at Rwanda, the cleanest city in Africa. Look at Rwanda. The place was not for the human skulls. Today, known for this clean. If the Rwandese can do it, we can do it. So that is what I mean. That's not a choice of saying that, how can we have to forgive. Not because of somebody else. I don't do it because of somebody. I do it for myself. To be a free man, to be a healthy man, I have to do it for myself, not for others. If we all can think like this, definitely living side by side will not be a question. But creating the best way to live side by side would be, the answer, what we'll be looking for.
Mr. Obang,
yes.
One thing that we try to do here all the time, I want to ask you this, if you're willing to. I'm sorry, God, I forgot today. We always begin with prayer and then we end up with prayer because, we do believe that this fight that we are going through, these things that we are going through, sometimes they're not just physically, but they're also spiritual. And one thing personally that I always do believe to put God in the center, regardless of the religions that people we have that are following us. We are trying to. It's one of the things that has been a huge tension, right, in some countries in Africa, right? And you guys in Ethiopia, you managed to live together with different religion. This is one brighter side that I see that a lot of African countries are suffering. But what I'm trying to say is, with all this conversation we had, all these questions that we had, I would like to raise a word of prayer as we finish this. If you are open to that,
I am.
To pray for Ethiopia, to pray for everything that we've spoken about here. You share about your wish for the government, for the people, all these things. I know that when we put God at the center, these things are possible. We need determination. We need all those things, but also we need a supernatural power that will help us to reconcile with one another, to be able to reach the point to forgive one another, and also to heal the wounds that we have for so long and that we are holding on to. So I'm really glad that you're open to do that.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
It is beautiful. You want to do it, or you want me to do it, or you want us to do it?
If you want, I can do it. It's up to you. If you want to do it, and if you want me, I can do
it. Please, Mr. Obang, you go ahead. The podium is yours.
Okay, yeah. So for sure, as and I'm a Christian, and
yes.
I believe, in God. There's a creator. There's a creator that created this universe, that created us for purpose. And as you say that, I really like when you say that, put it in the centers. And what we do, there's many things that which is beyond ourselves. But even with us, why are we created? Why are we created at such a time as this? I could have been created 2,000 years ago or 2,000 years from now. That's, this is only a creators. So I do believe, in the God who created us. He has a power, and definitely that, reaching out and talking, praying to God is a good thing. So if you want me to say, if you would, then praying for, for this country and for the whole of us, I can do it.
Yes.
You ready?
Let's take your time. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. For everybody that who are, listening, even to those people who are not follower of Jesus Christ or Christians, please, pray to whatever that God that you believe in. There's only one creator, not many. Sometimes the human being, we created that we have, different creators, but only one creator that created all of us. So I did want to say that, dear Father, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, and especially for these young brothers to do this. And all of you guys who are here listening. We live in a world of so many plots, so many mistakes, so many followers, so many failures. Because human beings are not perfect. We are not perfect. There's evil within us. And trying to use every means to control, to dominate, to do horrible things to each other. God created all of us equals. God doesn't take favors. God created a human first. We get the tribe after we come to these worlds of greed. So world of money, world of power, world of backwardness. But again, God has never give up on us. So to fellow Ethiopian brothers and sisters, we are at a crossroad. We are at the crossroads of our country, not because of the work of God that didn't do anything wrong with us. It is not God, it is us, our leaders, our peoples who have misguided us, lied to us, deceived us, pushing us to get to this. It is now us who can fix it. We create the mess. We can clean it. But we need God to be on our side. Dear fathers, We have done a horrible thing to each other. We have done it, but we can change it. Just help us to be a better people. Make us forgive. Make us think. Make us see the humanity of our neighbors. Make us see what we didn't see. We have done so many horrible things. But through your power, through of genuine and truth, we can change this. Ethiopia need healing. And Ethiopian themselves can do it, but you can guide them. The continent of Africa need healing. The humanity need healing. Yes. The humanity need each other today than ever before. The intelligence and the knowledge that we use, if we don't use it, the humanity can destroy themselves. Then might create a nuclear weapon that can wipe up the cities. The humanity, the biggest threat to humanity today is the short-sighted humanity. We are coming to you and help us and empower us, guide us, show us the right way. We will do our whatever we can, but we want you to guide us to go to the right direction. Not the selfishness way, not the greed way, not ego ways, not my way, but your way. We ask you this. And for all those who are suffering in these countries, in this continent, in these worlds, there's a better way that there can be less suffering. There's a way to do it. And that way has never been done before, but it can be done. These worlds is full of so evil things, so horrible things, so many misguided things, so many short-sighted leaders. Reach out in the heart and the mind of those people. Help bring out some younger, vibrant, God-fearing, not self-love, humanity-love leaders from every corner of these worlds and make them work together. And then let them do the volunteers. I want to hand it to these dear fathers. You did all this universe work for free. Most of us may not know that. You create an oxygen that we breathe every day free of charge. And when some of us get sick with corona, you go out with a bill of $2 million. An artificial oxygen. You make us live in a light we don't pay. We drink the water that we don't pay. We live everything you did in these worlds. The rain, the soil that we feed ourselves with. All of these things is a volunteer. Some of us live in this world without not knowing. They are the product, they are the result of volunteering. Like our mothers who carry us 9 months, raise up us until we grow. It's a volunteer. God work is a volunteer works. And if we can learn from you and volunteer, this world could be a better place than this. Remind some of those people who are blinded, those short-sighted people who don't know their purpose. Reach out to them, call them, let them know that life is too short. It is only when you are alive that you have a purpose. When you are alive that you can be useful. The minute you die, you are just a dust, like a rocks. Senseless, emotionless, nothing. So just reach out to those who are lost and confused. Empower them. Dear Father, thank you for all the work that you have done. I never lost hope in Ethiopia because I know there are good Ethiopians out there. You can bring them up forward to keep Ethiopian the kind of government they deserve, the kind of system they deserve, the kind of society they want to live. I know there's some people there in Africa, in these worlds, reach out and bring those in the name of your Son. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Wow. 2 hours and 30 minutes of university. This has been very productive session, Mr. Obang. I've learned a lot. One thing that I can say, I can go through these comments and read again and again. I didn't see even a single comment that is saying negative about you, Mr. Obang. I don't know how you manage to do that, but it shows me something really huge. And I really, really want to grow up, become someone like you, who will love his country, his continent, and serve humanity with everything I got. So thank you for being such a good example, for being a role model, for being someone that people can look at and have hope for Ethiopia and Africa, because you are there and you represent that. Thank you so much for everything you do and for your voice. And here in One Africa, we'll keep praying for you and we'll keep having you here. Please don't get tired of us. Yeah, it's such a huge privilege, and I cannot wait to come and to see you, to meet you, and to have more conversation about Africa. I'm looking forward to that. Yes, I thank you, and I love you so much. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you, brothers, for inviting me, and also that for my brothers from the Ethiopian that who really made this possible and wanted me to invite me. I want to say thank you to you. You also
Yes.
that inspiration to me and to so many Ethiopians. So many Ethiopians love you, and so many of us are good things. Good things. Success can attract success. And as a doctor say, that Dr. King said, only the darkness cannot be pushed out from the darkness. It's a light. You're a light, brother. So you're really, I have really so much respect for you for being just a young person at this just age. The people like you give me hope that Africa's will rise from this. And thank you. And to all those brothers, Ethiopian brothers and sisters on this line, I wanted to say that thank you to you guys. I love you guys, all of you, the Ethiopian and the other people. I'm a better human being because of you guys. I didn't do anything, but you taught me what it means to be a human being, especially Ethiopian. And you also taught me and encouraged me to say that we have much more greater thing about us. It was 424 Anuak who died. As a result of reaching out with love and respect, the Ethiopian I got in return, not 400, not 4,000, not 4 million, many million of you guys, including this brother that is on with us today. So thank you to all of you. Love is within us, just we didn't look for it. It is within us. Care is within us. Humility is within us. Respect is within us. Just a simple thing within us. It doesn't take long. Just go and find it and give it. No one will reject love. If you walk on the street, you smile at somebody, no one will say why they had to smile at me. It's just a simple. It's a priceless and it's free. Our country is in a mess because those people who did not find love, those who did not know what it means to love. Thank you to all of you who are here. One Africa. We are one family. God already created us to be one family. Just know that. The African saying, Ubuntu. I exist because of you.
Yes.
You exist because of me. Ubuntu is not a Western, it's African saying. I exist. And that is actually the most powerful thing you can think of. A human being is the only living things. cannot survive without another human being. When we come out from the womb to this world, we are in another human being hand. When we die from this world, it's another human being who will put the last dust on us. It takes 18 years to raise a child to become independent. An animal can be born and will walk in a minute. It will take years for a human being to walk, to crawl, to walk, to become self-independent. That meaning that you depend on each other. That's Ubuntu. I exist because of you. You exist because of me. You don't need to help me because of my tribe. You don't have to help me because of my skin color. You just all have to help because I'm a human being, that I cannot survive alone. We need each other, my fellow brother and sister. Ubuntu is the way of the right things. Mikey, I'm wanting to tell you, brothers, you've already done that. We need to continue to carry on this message to our peoples. It is hatred that holds us back. It is the hatred that makes us become a backward. And lack of education make foreigners to use us, to make us less. We can get out of this. So thank you. When you come to Ethiopia, I'm telling you that, we'll try to organize even events if I could, and then, let you come and address the Ethiopian, because we need to multiply you, my friend. A younger person like that, there's many of them in Ethiopia here. We want to bring some younger people like you. Let this kind of discussion continue. Let it carry on. So I'm pretty sure that for sure, this is something I'm envisioning even in the future. Let's have this kind of a tour. Can you imagine that, we have, come up with 10 countries in Africa or 20 countries. Many young, bright people like you, men, and all of these of different ages from all other Africa. You go and have a big events in Dar es Salaam, big events in Addis Ababa, in Nairobi, in Kampala. You go to this in Abuja. Can you imagine that? That itself is a revolution. To liberate our thinkings, our consciousness, to say that we are people of value, of dignity, of education. I think that we can. You are up to something, young man. I'm telling you that, you are up to something great, and you will get there. And all from my hand, if there's anything I can do, I will be there to be able to support you. I'll support you. And I told you that you are a leader, my brother. You are a leader. And that's what we are lacking. What we lack in the continent was a bright, younger leader. You are a leader. And then, keep the flame, burning. And then, we'll be able to do whatever we can to making sure that that flames, will reach out to everything. In Ethiopian Easter, which is something I love, they go to the church, and then they turn the light off. And then one person will light a candle. Everybody in the church have a candle. They turn the light off. Completely dark. One person, light the fire and light the candle. The candle passed to the next person. It is just a ritual. And these Ethiopian things, by the time it's finished, the room become a light up, not because of the electricity, because of the candles. But it starts with one person. You may be that candles that will light the continent. Keep it burning, brother. Thank you.
I am humbled, truly humbled. Thank you so much. No one is free until we are all free. Humanity or ethnicity. I love that.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night.
See you very soon. See you very soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I appreciate it. I love it. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Oh, my Lord. That's why I don't call this interview. That's why I always call this conversation, because it'll be underrated if I call it interview. First of all, because I'm not a journalist, but second, because it's two people having a conversation. And One Africa, the tagline of One Africa is a conversation for a better Africa. A conversation for a better Africa. We want to see a better Africa. We want to see a better Ethiopia, a better Somalia, Tanzania, Kenya. And having this conversation with Mr. OBANG today, I don't know what to say. I am very emotional right now, and I am very emotional because of this conversation. This is one of the, I think this is the first time. It's the first time for me to have a conversation with someone that you can clearly see that this person is genuine, and he just wants something good for humanity, something good for Ethiopia, something good for Africa. I can't lie, guys. This is my first time to have a conversation like this. It's the first time with a human being like this. It's the first time. You guys, you can go through all these comments. There are more than 2,000 comments here. More than 2,000 live comments. I think right now it's 3,000. I didn't see a single negative comment here about Mr. OBANG. And I gotta say this, guys. I want to appreciate the person who connected me with Mr. OBANG, and I want to acknowledge him right now. Sinelk Berhan. I want to acknowledge him. So I will send this link to him, exclusive today for him. I want to acknowledge this guy. If he's willing, he will come. But this is the guy who reached out to me, and he said, this is what he told me. He told me, hey, Mika, may I invite a huge pro-Pan-African advocate on your platform? And I need to be very honest with you guys. I'm wondering why I didn't know Mr. OBANG. I'm wondering why I didn't know this man soon enough. But God had a plan, and that plan, it was just fulfilled today. He asked me that. He told me his name is OBANG METHO. And this is what I told him. I said, of course, man, you shouldn't even ask me about this. Bring him. He said, thank you. And then I said, I would love to have a conversation with him. And then he went ahead, he created the WhatsApp group. He invited me, and he invited Mr. OBANG. For the very first time, this guy, he told me this. This was like maybe 2 or 3 days ago when he sent me this message. It was December 11th. That was the first time for me to see Mr. OBANG. First time. I type his name on Twitter. I look at his bio, and I was like, I need this man. I went through his website today, and I had this conversation with him. I didn't even have questions, but I just wanted to have a conversation with him, to get to know him. Africa, we have good people. Africa, we have good leaders. We have good people. We have good people. We have decent human beings, people who care for the lives of ordinary folk, people who care about their countries. That's what we need. We need a lot of OBANG out there. Ethiopia, this is your own people. This is your own person. We need more OBANG there. We need more people who think like this. We need more people who will stand with truth. We need more people who will stop taking sides, and we just stand with people. We'll stand for people. We'll stand for the truth. And we'll say no more. No more. No more to what is happening within. We need people who love, who love with everything they can. We need non-politician people. Non-politician people who will simply care about people, who will just care about people, because so many people are dying, so many things are happening, and we need people who will stand for people, will be voice to the voiceless, like Mr. OBANG. I didn't know that there's an amazing individual, human being out there like Mr. OBANG. These people are Mr. OBANG. You can go to Kenya, you can see PLA Lumumba, Professor Lumumba. These are people, African, who they just love. Where are those people today, guys? I challenge you guys. 440 people were here today. I challenge you guys. I truly challenge you guys. Let's be like this. Because I am challenged today. I am challenged. I am challenged. I'm so challenged today. And I want to challenge you guys. I want to challenge you guys. We can do this. Mr. OBANG, he said it very well. We don't have another option. There's no other option. We don't have other option. We don't have other option, guys, but to unite. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, Africa. We don't have other option, guys. We don't have other option. Please, if you still have some part of your heart, you still have heart in there, deep within you, just say enough is enough. And I love it because today's conversation, we didn't make it about US. We didn't make about this, and I didn't want to go towards that direction. Because a lot of time if we always go towards that direction, we will ignore what's going on within. We will ignore what's going on in Africa. And what we talked today, we've spoken about what is going on in Ethiopia, but there's so many things going on within our countries that we don't talk about. And we have to say no more to that. We have to say no more to that. It's a time to shift, to say no more to that, what is going on inside. And enough is enough. And I love this what Mr. OBANG he said. OBANG, he constantly said this, we killed each other. We're killing each other. He used we. He used we. He said it's very easy to point fingers and say that, oh, they're killing them, oh, they're there. But when you make it about you, because it's our people, and I'm saying the same thing, that we're killing each other. And we don't have to. There's hope. Mr. Bang said he has a hope for Ethiopia. He has a hope for Africa. There's a hope for Africa. 322 people that are here. This is a hope. We can change Africa. 300? It's a lot of people. We can change Africa. Let's start changing how we think about one another. These 300 here, if all of us we're gonna leave here today. I'm telling you, if you leave here today and you still think about tribalism, then everything that happened here, it's nothing. These almost 3 hours, it was for nothing. I challenge you, 300 people here who are here right now, as we are living today, I want you to don't think about your tribe. That's what it got us where we are today. Think about one Africa. Think about united Ethiopia. Think about a united Tanzania, Kenya, your country. Think about that. And take responsibility. Take full responsibility to what is happening. Don't just say that, oh, they are killing, oh, they're the one I'm killing, oh, they're the one. Don't say that, because you are avoiding an issue. You're avoiding a problem. Take responsibility. Mr. Obang did that. He said here that his family were killed. And he said nothing will bring them back. His uncles. But they say he's fighting because he don't want to see any other person losing that family. And that's what I have been saying here all the time. We don't want to see another death. We don't want to see another member of the family dying. We don't want to see that. Today on Twitter, I posted a very emotional picture of a soldier who died and left a little kid. Left a little kid. So that little kid don't have a daddy. Because his daddy, he was a soldier, he was fighting right now on the ground, and he was killed. His life, that guy, he sacrificed his life for the rest of Ethiopia. But think about that little kid who now don't have a daddy. And he's going to grow up, no matter how much money he will have, no matter how many people that are going to support him, but he will not see his dad forever. This is what happens. These things, they're costing us. Division, it's costing Africa. Tribalism is costing Africa. And those people, they will never be back. They're gone. They're good people. They're amazing people. We can't keep shedding blood. We can't keep doing that. We have to stop. And we people, we have the power to stop that. You have the power to stop that. To just for once, not thinking about your tribe, just for once, and live like that. We can do it because we see how much it does. See that division. It's the poison, it's the cancer. It's a cancer. Those other nations, they're fighting with cancer. We're fighting with awful cancer. It's a cancer. It's more dangerous than COVID-19. It's more dangerous than HIV. It's more dangerous than malaria. It's more dangerous. It's a cancer. It's a cancer. Because we're losing really good people. And that kid is going to grow up knowing that my dad died fighting for the country. Yes, he'll be a proud kid, but he will never have a chance with his dad again. If you don't feel that, I don't know what you're going to feel. You have to say enough is enough. We have to come together. We have to love one another. We have to reconcile. We have to repent. We have to repent. And I want to share with you guys this word. You have to repent. You have to repent. And this is what I shared with you guys before, and I'm going to share with you guys today. We have to repent. There's no other way out. I've shared this with you guys before. If my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and heal their land. Now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to the prayer that is made in this place. For now I have chosen and consecrated this house that my name may be there forever. My eyes and my heart will be there for all time. Humble ourselves. The first thing we have to do. Pray. The second thing. Seek God's face. The third thing. The fourth thing, which is really important, turn from their wicked ways. Then I will hear from heaven. I will heal. I will forgive their sin and heal their land. We want God to heal our land, heal our people. And wipe away the tears of our people. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine how much you guys are holding up the tears that are within you. Because some of you all have been crying every single day for years. You have been crying and crying and crying and crying for years. So I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine how much y'all, every single one of y'all, let's do this. And then someone will be out there and say that I think this interview today, it's taking us into the right direction. These are kind of conversations we need to have. I'm going to find an opportunity when I get to Ethiopia. I'm going to sit down with Mr. OBANG and have a conversation about Africa as well. Challenge you guys. Yes. I don't know. Guys, this is not going to be the end of this conversation. This is where we will begin. This is just the beginning. Our job from now onward will be going to the roots and reconciliation. Not to find out who is wrong, not to find out who is right. This is the direction right now. You guys hear me out. Not to find out who is wrong, not to find out who is right. Our direction now, it will be to go to the roots and to find reconciliation between Africans. That will be our directions. We're not going to ignore. We're not going to just sleep down under the carpet and move on. I don't understand the concept of move on. We're not going to move on. If you don't want, don't join. If you want, that's the direction we're going to take. It's a long path. It's a dangerous path, but we'll take that. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk about topics, and then nothing will happen. We can't be politicians. I'm politicians. Most of you are not. It's the first we have, and it has to be a humanity head. That's what we need to have. That's what we need to have. That's what you all need to have. Humanity head. We'll put humanity before anything. I don't want to hear you coming here and talk about your tribe. Oh, my tribe. Oh, this and this. I don't want to hear. I hear that just in a second. I'm going to kick you out of the studio. Enough with the tribes. I want people, when they come here, they will define us with one thing. Which tribe they come? Oh, I don't know. They are the Africans. That's the direction you're going to take. No more entertaining tribalism, because it's a cancer. And it kills. It's a stage 9. If there's a stage, there's no stage 9 cancer, but that's like the stage 9. That's how all. And no more taking sides. Don't take side. Let's not take side. But let's speak the truth. Let's hold our leaders, our people, accountable. And we, the people, we're going to bring about change to Africa. Hey, youth, us, we'll do it. So you have that software. You're one of us. You're one of us. No one will use us. So we'll have conversation with everybody. We'll have conversation with the government. We'll have conversation with activists. We'll have conversation with anyone. We'll have conversation with them. And the conversation is going to go the way that we want it to go. And that is for the people. Good for the people. Politicians, they destroy politics by making everything about policy and things that they stand for. And that's maybe it's their job because they're politicians. But what I understand, a little knowledge I have about politics, what I understand, even politics is about people. It's about people. There are a lot of people that don't make it about people. A lot of politicians that don't make it about it. It has to be about people. People matter, and always people should come first. And that's what we're going to do here. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we'll continue to do. So I want to appreciate Mr. OBANG for coming here today and ignite this fire inside of all of us. I'm telling you, everyone here, if you didn't see what you have been doing wrong, after this interview, go back and watch this interview again. But I'm pretty sure you've seen something that, oh, I need to change. I need to change. And this is the good attitude. Some people might be thinking here, oh, I wish someone, I wish that person who is listening to this right now, I wish you are not changed. You have to see yourself in this thing. You have to see yourself that every single one of us, we have something to change. You do have. When you listen to this, I don't want you to think about them, about that, about that. No, point fingers at yourself. Start with yourself. Tell yourself that I need to change this. Because you're not a perfect human being. You're not doing everything right. You're wrong. I'm not doing everything right. I'm wrong. So it begins with us. That's one thing that a lot of politicians, they will not say, they will not admit that they're wrong. But that's how it's supposed to be. We can change that. And if you're a politician, you're watching this, if you're thinking about running for the office, whatever office it is, if you're a leader, that should be the first thing in your mind. That you're not right, you'll never be right all the time, you will be wrong, and you'll make a lot of mistakes. But always point fingers at yourself and striving for the best, to become the best version of yourself, and always and always and always put people first. Always. People, they always come first. Africans, they always come first. They matter. And not anything else. Everything we do is for the people, for the good of people. But we're doing nothing if people are dying and we're not protecting them. I don't care what tribe, I don't care who is, I don't care. People are dying, and we have and we must protect them from dying. That's our first responsibility. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. One Africa, let's stop that. No more killing. I don't want to see any other young guy like that without dad. Innocent people dying. God help us all. I'm grateful that Mr. OBANG, he prayed for us today. I'm gonna make sure that I upload that prayer again. That prayer deserve to come here again, you know? Yeah. So guys, I want to take this moment. You know, there's more than 3,000 comments here, but I want to take a moment to appreciate the super chat that you guys have given. Let me see here. Yossi the Great became the member of the family. I want to appreciate Yossi the Great. Thank you for becoming a member. It means a lot. Yossi the Great. And oh, that's just recent. Let me go back here to see. Oh, I cannot go back to the old comments. But I've seen Chala donating a super chat. Appreciate Chala for that. I've seen I cannot go back here, guys. Yeah. I want to mention all of your names, guys, but I cannot go back here. Oh, Senu, Sen, she donated a super chat as well. I want to appreciate you, Senu. Thank you so much. and there were more people there. All right. Everybody who did that, I want to appreciate you. Forgive me for not mentioning your names, but I want to appreciate you. I thank you for what you're doing. When I go to Ethiopia, I've seen the question of Professor Ezra area, but I didn't ask because I'm thinking that when I go to Ethiopia, I'll find a chance to have one-on-one with Mr. OBANG, and I'll ask him how can we support the work he's doing. If there's any way that we as One Africa movement can support, I'm all in. With 100%, I'm all in, because his movement is solidarity movement for a new Ethiopia. And you can see here, I love it. They say the SMNE is a non-profit organization that seeks to unite the many Ethiopian ethnic groups into a solidarity movement that stands together to call the current Ethiopian government to account for myriad allegations of human rights violations. So this is seek to unite the people of Ethiopia. What One Africa can do, we can support. We can join our strength with different movements within the countries that are working within the country to unite people. We can definitely support. I'll have one-on-one with him and I will ask him any way we can support. I'm down. And I'm telling you guys, if you're not in Ethiopia, make your way there, because the launch of One Africa movement, it's going to be incredible. I'm going to talk to Mr. OBANG too. I'm going to ask him to come. Really, I'm going to ask him to come. But it's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. So please continue to pray for that. Continue to pray for the launch of One Africa movement. Pray for us. Pray for the team. Yes. God is good. All right, guys. I got to leave now. It's 3 hours. Thank you for y'all who have been here. Yes, this was very refreshing. I got to leave now. I got to leave now. And I appreciate so much. Yeah. Okay, I want to appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Subscribe, turn on the notification button, because you never know when we have another surprise. I reached before to Professor Lumumba. I'm still waiting. I will try to reach again. Maybe one day we'll have a conversation. But if you guys, you have connection and you know how you can connect us with, please do so. And for those who are continuing to support, I really appreciate. And for those who are in WhatsApp group, One Africa Movement WhatsApp group, please let's not entertain tribalism there. Our conversation, our talk, our points should always point towards One Africa. That's what we have to do. So I love you guys. I want to thank the team right there. I want to thank all the members who are here. I see a Big E. I see Mr. John Divine. I see Professor Ezra. I see Sadeke. I see Senu. I see a lot of people. Yeah, I saw Yanatan before. I Rich Francis. Yes, I see a lot of people raising their voice. And thank you so much, the team, for always being there. I see African Agents of Change. Yeah, you guys have been very loving. And I see we have Okon Omod Okun. You know, he said the man is a natural human being. This is watching us from Facebook as well. Yeah, so I really appreciate, guys. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll leave you guys with this page here, so that if you haven't subscribed, you can go to subscribe, and remember to turn on the notification button. Yeah, that's very important. So I'll leave you with that to continue to do so. All right. And let me leave this page here. But we will definitely come. If you join late, please, you can go back and watch the interview, the conversation, and we'll definitely come here to talk about this conversation with our people here. I think it's very important to have everybody coming together and talk. Just, how can I say, dissect, right? All these things we're talking about. So please, I'm giving you a homework that when you go watch this interview again, listen to it, and maybe we can come here tomorrow and to dissect all these things that we have been talking about today. We need to give them more time to talk about them. Yeah. So please, let's do so. All right, guys. I love you so much. God bless everybody. I love you guys. Thank you for being there. Thank you for the membership. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for everything. I love you to death, guys. Love you. One love. Love, peace, and unity for Africa. I love you guys. See you soon.